So welcome everybody to the AI Ecommerce Success Summit. We hopefully will give you some really cool techniques and tricks and strategies to help you in your ecom business. Today, we've got 19 awesome speakers, plus 6 people that are going to be competing for a little like a tips contest as well. So could be as many as 25 people presenting some really amazing information today. This webinar is being sponsored by Voc.ai. So thanks to them, they're helping cover the cost of this, help covering the prize money. They are going to make a short little presentation. Some of you may know them like Schulix, but they do a lot of stuff with reviews, but they will be coming on. And that's the only people that we're allowing to actually do any kind of a pitch. They have 5 minutes. So that'll happen about halfway through or so. But thanks to them for sponsoring. If you want to check them out, it's at voc.ai if you're not familiar with them. A lot of really cool stuff for e-commerce sellers, especially Amazon sellers with reviews. They've expanded into quite a few other powerful things that their software can do. So check that out. And they'll talk about that here in just a little bit. There will be a $500 cash competition at the end where we have 6 people going to have 3 minutes each to show a tip or a trick or strategy when it comes to AI, and you will vote. We'll put up a QR code at the very end of the webinar that you'll be able to actually go and vote at. If you haven't, Lunch with Norm is a great podcast that he does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays live at noon Eastern time. He's also got a weekly newsletter that's really good that Kelsey and Norm are putting together. If you haven't subscribed to that, I encourage you to go check that out at lunchwithnorm.beehive.com. It's pretty good on what they're doing. So check out his newsletter. I also have a newsletter, Billion Dollar Sellers. A lot of you are familiar with that. BillionDollarSellers.com. It comes out every Monday and Thursday. I personally write it. Everything in there, I personally write. It's not VAs or anybody. I put it together every single issue myself. So it's coming straight from me. We have quite a few different topics. There's a sense of humor. There's quite a bit of stuff on AI covered, as well as Amazon stuff, as well as TikTok, anything general e-commerce. There's tips, strategies, news. So if you're not familiar with the newsletter, I encourage you to sign up. It's totally free. Some people say it's like a free $25,000 mastermind in your inbox. And there's a lot of valuable information in there, BillionDollarSellers.com. But one of the reasons that we're doing this webinar is to promote our new podcast that Norm and I have done. We both have individual podcasts. He has the Lunch with Norm. I have the AM/PM podcast that I do with Helium 10. My AM/PM podcast is heavily focused on Amazon, and his is Amazon, Walmart. His is a little bit more multimodal. But we decided, the two of us, every time we get together, we're always smoking cigars and shooting the shit and telling cool stories. And we're like, you know what? There's a lot of cool stuff here that could be in a podcast. Why don't we do a podcast? There's a lot of really good podcasts out there where there's 2 people, like My First Million, and there's several others where there's 2 hosts, and it works really well together. So we decided to get together and do a podcast called Marketing Misfits. And the podcast is not about Amazon. So you're not going to see a lot of the Amazon people that are on all the other podcasts. We've already recorded the first 9 episodes. We just debuted it yesterday with the very first episode, just came out yesterday. It's totally free. Obviously, there's a YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on Apple. I think it's on Apple now. We're trying to get it onto Spotify and some of the others. It should be propagated out pretty soon on all of them. But our first guest is Katie Wells. Katie is an amazing person. She has 6 children. She runs, I think it's 10 businesses. She's on the board of 30 businesses. One of her children is up for the Olympics in pole vaulting. Peter Thiel, who the big VC, co-founder of PayPal, big investment guy, he has a person that he pays $350,000 a year to. And that assistant's job is to find interesting people for him to actually have lunch or breakfast with. He just wants to meet interesting people. So that assistant found Katie, invited Katie out to the Bay Area to have lunch with him. And she's been invited back out several times to meet with him. That's how impressive this girl is. So I encourage you to check out the podcast. It's a really cool podcast. Norm and I are practicing our working together because we're so used to having our own podcast. So the first one, the bounce back between us is not as smooth as you'll see once you get to like episode 6 or 7 or 8 as we kind of get our rhythm down. But I think you're going to really find the podcast valuable. One of the most valuable things that I get is when I get outside this Amazon fishbowl, or when I go to other events, like I'm going later today to Dallas to the Super Conference, which is Dan Kennedy's big conference all about marketing. I go to Funnel Hacking Live or different things outside the Amazon world, where most of you are coming from that world. And I think that's important. That's what we're trying to do with this podcast. And plus, sometimes Norm and I have guests. Sometimes it's just the two of us just bantering back and forth about packaging or about marketing or about differentiation and telling stories and giving you ideas. So I encourage you to check out the Marketing Misfits. These are quotes. The first one just came out yesterday, literally. A new one's every Tuesday. We had these two come in. One guy said he listened to the first one with Kay, is really good. Another one thought she was brilliant. If we maintain this quality level in Misfits, it'll be a go-to podcast for sure. Those are unsolicited comments. We didn't ask for those. So people just posted those after we just said, hey, check out the new podcast. We got these back about 3 or 4 hours later from a couple of people that checked it out. So I encourage you to do that. You can go to marketingmisfits.co and you can find the link there, or you can scan either one of these QR codes or take a screenshot of that, or just hold up your iPhone or your tablet to the screen and take a screenshot of those and check it out. We got some amazing guests coming up on this podcast. So there it is on YouTube or Apple Podcasts. Those links will take you there. Cool. That's what we've got for you to start this off. So we're going to get into our first presentation right now. Norm, do you want to introduce our first speaker? Norm, are you here? Well, I don't know if Norm is here. Norm, are you here?
You're muted, Norm. There you go.
Well, I'm not Norm, but I have his name right now. Should I log off and come back on?
Yeah, you might want to try it. Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not kicking him out. All right, I'll be back.
All right, cool.
That's funny.
Sorry about this, guys. Well, I can go ahead and introduce our first speaker while Norm's figuring that out, just so we can stay on time. Our first speaker is the former president of Digital Marketer. Amazing guy, heavily big into AI. He's actually a guest on an upcoming episode of the Marketing Misfits podcast as well. So if you would, please welcome Mark DeGrasse. Mark, if you want to go ahead and unmute and share your screen, it'd be welcome to our little AI webinar today. I saw you in here. I know you're here somewhere.
Yeah, so Mark was Norm, so he's rejoining.
Oh, okay.
I just logged out and came back in, and I'm Norm again. So
that's okay. I don't know what happened to Norm, but you can go ahead. I'll figure out with Norm what's going on.
Am I the first speaker?
Yeah, you're the first speaker. I
was like, I thought you said something else. Oh, you were talking about the first podcast. All right, I'm going to launch into it. Hey, everyone, I'm Mark DeGrasse. I am the CEO of AI Branding Academy, a new kind of educational institution specifically for branding. And today I'm going to be talking about branding your Amazon storefronts. I'm going to give a little presentation, then I'm going to give you a set of tools, including a custom GPT to help you set your Amazon vision in motion. So I'm going to share my screen. And could somebody let me share my screen, Kevin? Good to go. All right, here we go. I love that 6 minutes thing. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about maximizing storefront impact. Why should you listen to me? I built some Amazon stores. I actually recently just worked with carparts.com, a $700 million e-commerce platform that has a brand called Evan Fisher on Amazon. I'm also the former president of digitalmarketer.com. And I sold a business called My Med Methods, which was selling imported equipment, fitness equipment, to a company called Onnit, which is one of Joe Rogan's companies, and a bunch of other junk. But let me talk about the cycle that you're currently going through with your Amazon business, or the typical cycle is this. Somebody goes shopping, they find a product, They're very happy to buy that product. And then the next time they need something, they go back and they shop all of Amazon again. And so it's a repeating cycle of people essentially committing to no brand, which isn't very good for your business because you're constantly paying for those advertisements and paying for that exposure to get them to your product in the first place, or constantly just optimizing. But what if there was another way? What if instead of having them go shopping, they just had your brand? And so they could come directly back to their brand because they know, like, and trust you. And now they don't have to shop all of Amazon because they know that your brand is the one that provides the stuff that they need. And so they could skip that whole process and go directly to the source. And now you save a ton of money on advertising and they get the product that they want. And now the cycle just continues over and over again. That is branding. And to me, I think branding is the most kind of overlooked aspect of marketing, but has the potential to be the most impactful, because as soon as you get that down and you're able to establish that relationship with your customer, now you can skip all that process of acquiring new customers all the time, and you can increase your lifetime customer value, which in the end is going to create a lot more money and profit for you, and build a significant brand that you can then sell to another company in the future. But it's not that easy. Well, actually, it is that easy. A lot of people just never brand their storefront, but using a couple simple components, you could do something like this. I think I built this for carparts.com in about, I don't know, an hour using Canva. And all it consists of is a logo, a custom header, mission statements, and then some branded imagery. Now, all the imagery that you see is actually stock imagery. So if you're thinking like, I'm not a photographer, I don't have money for a photographer, it doesn't matter. You have websites like pexels.com or unsplash.com for free, high quality stock imagery, or you could use just Canva itself, which is what I'm going to show you today. But the impact of this has a lot more than simply, making your storefront look nice. It establishes your brand and your credibility and shows that you're willing to take that extra step to show people that you're not just a list of products that are cheaper than everybody else. It shows that you have an operation, that you are a professional brand, and that you're able to make something memorable for them to come back to. So a couple elements in here. Even though these are all stock images, you can see a couple factors. The logo itself is red, white, and blue, but that red color really pops. And so what you see in those stock images are red. And that's pretty much it. Red and some operational pics concerning what they sell. And it's as simple as that. And then the other side is just the, the mission statement, all the parts you need at the prices you want. Not very creative there, but who cares? Most people don't even have a mission statement. And if they do, it's usually something so vague that nobody even remembers it anyways. So what I'm going to show you how to do is use a custom GPT to actually establish a real brand vision. And then you could go ahead and create that. And the big thing with brand vision or your brand mission is that it needs to be quantifiable. In business, everything that we do is quantifiable. You have your metrics, you have your projections, you have everything has numbers. But when it comes to your mission statement, it's we're trying to change the world, which is great for your soul. However, people like numbers, and you personally as a business owner have to like numbers as well. So we're going to go ahead and incorporate that into your vision statement. So what I'm going to provide you with, and I'll put this link in the comments as well. I could click over. Let's see. I don't know what this thing's doing. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to give you a link to this, and essentially this has the templates to essentially recreate that page I just showed you, as well as what I call the brand vision creator, which is the basis of pretty much everything that I teach at the AI Branding Academy. Using this, all you're going to do is come in, click this button, and it's going to walk you through a process to essentially establish your vision and quantify it, which is the most important part. Then what you're going to do is be able to create these graphics and input that information using these Canva templates. So the templates that I'm going to share with you are this. You input your logo, you put a background image that complements your colors, of course, and then you got your header image. Then you got these little background images. I included two, one with this little overlay so that you could put some text on top. And then this is the third, the horizontal image. Now, again, you could just, hopefully you have product photography and some usage photography, but it's not that hard. Just make sure that it reflects your business, shows that you are an operation, not just some random person listing stuff on Amazon, and that you've actually taken some time to respect your customer and show them that you have the credibility that they could trust. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to share the link to this. It's just here at AI branding .academy/free-tools. And that's a pretty long one. I also have a QR code that you could scan if I could get out of this. Oh, no, can't get out of that. It's actually, all right, there we go. There we go. Share this in the comments. And that is it. Did I hit the 6 minutes? I felt like I was talking fast enough.
You did it right with about 10 seconds to spare.
Yes.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Norm number 2. That was Mark de Grasse, everybody. He's number 1. So if you liked what he presented, just make a little note on your piece of paper, on your notepad, or on your computer. Okay, my favorite so far is number 1. And that way you don't have to remember the names or how to spell it when you vote later on at who you thought delivered the best value. And then I just see he posted into the chat. So those of you that are on here live, if you're watching this on a replay, I'm sorry, there's no chat on the replay. You'll have to take a screenshot, back it up. But everybody that's here live, you get the advantage of everything that's shared in the chat. So he just shared the links directly into the chat there for everybody. All right. Norm, are you here? The real
I
Norm.
am. There's several Norms here.
I see
Few
that.
people asked me for a link, so I sent them my link.
Yeah, you had some trouble getting in, but welcome. Do you want to go ahead and introduce our next speaker?
No, I don't, because with the problems trying to get in, I lost all the files. So,
okay.
Kevin, could you send that over to me again?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go ahead and get our next speaker up. Our next speaker is Andrew Erickson. Andrew, I saw you're in here. You're next up. Are you ready to go?
I am ready. I'm very excited. And,
right.
you know, when I was on Norman's podcast a few months ago, I had the full beard and the glasses, but I forgot them today, Norm. So I'll have to next time. Okay, I don't want to waste any more time, though. I'm going to jump right into it. We are okay. So I want to tell you guys about. You guys can see my screen, okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I want to show you guys this fun little hack. I've been creating custom GPTs for just workflow that I do. And it's been amazing because the AI, I love it. It's amazing. It's really transforming everything in our business right now. But I end up just like saving, I save like the text of a prompt, and I like save it into a text file, and I like paste it. It's this whole like weird flow. It kind of sucks. So I started creating custom GPTs, and these things are amazing and super fun. I'm going to show you guys quickly how you can make your own custom GPT. So first, I'm going to show you ones that I've made here. The first one is, I thought it's kind of a fun one. I made this thing, we call it a comment hug bot. So what's a comment hug? When we go on social, we go on particularly TikTok, we're doing a lot of fun stuff on TikTok right now. We'll find an influencer that we love, and we'll go and comment multiple times on their content. So we'll find, you know, we'll over the course of a week, we'll comment on 10 videos. Okay, they see us when we do that. They see us, and we want to engage them, right? We call that a comment hug. We want to give them a big like, oh, good to see you. We see you. We love your content, right? So I created this bot that allows my VAs to do this for me. This is a combination of AI and VAs that are doing this stuff, right? So this comment hug bot, what I do, or what we all do, is we come on to social, and we find a video that we like. So I'm going to take this little cute video here of this golden retriever. And it's just a smiling golden retriever. It has a little cute smile. So if we have a dog brand, this would be a great video for us to comment on and say, oh, cute golden, right? So what I found that actually works really well is the AI is so smart, you don't have to write anything about this video. You can just take a screenshot of this caption of this thumbnail. And so you just upload that right into the right there. There's a screenshot. Just took this, 20 minutes ago. I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to upload it into the AI. And this custom bot has been customized to create comments for this video. It knows the context of the picture. It can tell it's a dog. It can read this text here, name something cuter than a golden smile. And it creates 5 comments that are good for TikTok, right? And now, the AI creates the comments, and then the VA, the virtual assistant, then picks her favorite one. So name something cuter than a golden smile. Impossible challenge. Still can't name anything cuter. That smile just brightened my day more than my coffee ever could. Someone give this champ a treat for stealing our hearts. These are all very relevant, right? This was done on the fly, right? This is a live demo. These are all done on the fly. And these are comments that are all very engaging, real comments that you could post on this video, right? The VA then reads all these 5 and she picks her favorite one. And then we do that comment hug. So and again, we do this, we do 10, 20 comments per day with this process. And so that is the custom GPT. And I'm going to drop this link here in the chat. And there it's dropped in the chat, which is kind of a fun little thing. And then also for those of you who are watching the replay, I did make a QR code. I figured easy way. So if you're watching, take a shot or pause or whatever the recording, you can take a shot of that. How am I on time, Kevin? Oh, you're muted right now.
You got 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm just gonna give you a quick high level of what you can do. So if you come in here to explore GPTs and you do create, this is going to allow you to create that custom GPT. So then you come in here and say, Kevin King newsletter, and it's going to create, we're going to create a custom $1 billion seller summit newsletter bot. And maybe I'm not going to publish this, Kevin, but I'm just showing an example of what we could do. I downloaded a bunch of your, I don't know if you're going to get mad at me for doing this or not. Is this okay? Are you? Yeah. Okay. Cool. I got a thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you. So I went and downloaded a dozen of your last emails and into a file. So I'm just going to download it into a Microsoft Doc from Google Docs. And let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to come in here, create I know I'm going really fast, but I'm trying to hit that timer. I'm going to upload files into this knowledge base. And then we're going to go to our downloads. We're going to upload your text. We're going to upload it in there. And then that should hopefully work. Let's see. Write a newsletter about Marketing Misfits. What's a new topic, King, Kevin?
What's a new topic? And Amazon's new AI algorithm or something.
Amazon's A10 algorithm. I know we hate that term.
Yep, there's no such thing as an A10. Let's see what it says. See if it lies.
Dear readers, since edition our newsletter, we've delved into the curious world of marketing misfits and how the enigmatic A10 algorithm of Amazon is reshaping the battlefield, understanding the algorithm. So anyways, you get the idea. So you can upload this content. And I had to do it very quick here, right? But what we want to do is find good content. What you can do is, again, you can steal my comment hug thing, but take newsletters, take different content you're using. And we have one for marketing. We have one for email launches. We have one for different processes like that. And we create these custom GPTs. And now we have like 10, 20 of these different custom GPTs that we use all day, every day. And for the last little bit, I'll take my favorite custom GPTs and put them in the chat. And that's my share.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew's number 2. So if you want, that was Andrew Erickson, number 2. So if you want to make a note, if you liked his, so for the voting at the end. Norm, do you want to do the next one? You have the list there. You want me to do it?
Sure. So let me see. I've got the list, Kev. Thanks for sending it.
All right.
Let's talk about number 3, and that's Jeff Hunter. Jeff, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. I was hoping you'd be here.
What's up, Norm?
I got your email.
Oh, yeah, I saw. And I saw you were struggling too. I love it. I'm glad we're here.
All right. So this, Jeff, if you wanted to go ahead with this, you got 6 minutes.
6 minutes is a short amount of time. And I was debating what I was going to be able to do for you guys. And since a lot of you guys were doing training on ChatGPT, I just want to do a poll here in the chat. How many of you guys have used Claude? Any of you guys use Claude.ai? Type a 1 in the chat if you have, 2 if you haven't. Yeah, okay. Wow, pretty mixed group. I'd say most people in here say no. Good. Well, for those of you who don't know it, after this presentation, even with me being sick as a dog, you're going to love it. It's going to become your new best friend. All right. And I'm going to show you a very practical way to do this. Also, at the end, I'll share a QR code for you guys to literally get the download of everything that I teach you guys today. All right. So first and foremost, let's show you what you expect from ChatGPT first. All right. Who here has literally gone on social media and you look at somebody's Facebook post and you're like, this person literally used ChatGPT, right? Like this person has never used hashtags in their life. And magically, every post they do lately has block text that starts with unleash, unlock, delve. What are some of the other ones, guys? You guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Elevate. If I see another email, this is elevate. I'm like, oh my God. Right. So what I'm going to show you guys today is exactly what you can do on ChatGPT and Claude. Now, Claude allows you to do more because of the token size limit. Okay. You have to remember, Claude will allow you to do about 100,000 words versus ChatGPT, which will support about 4,000 words. Okay. Now you can go higher than 4,000 words if you use the custom GPT, like what Andrew showed us earlier, which by the way was amazing. Thank you, Andrew. So I'm going to share my screen and get right to it. Okay. So first and foremost, I am going to skip the part of where I show you how to do it because Andrew already did. I took my top performing social media posts. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you how much of a nerd I am. Any data geeks in here? Any like marketers that are absolute data geeks and like save all their information and how many posts they've got over the years and stuff like that? I'm going to show you guys something that is pretty nutty. I'm going to show you. I have a virtual assistant just like Andrew, and I literally have a VA who's on this board right here who's responsible for literally collecting all of my top performing social media posts. Posts like this. And by the way, just so you know why you should listen to me, much like Mark de Grasse, who is incredible, by the way. Love that guy. We actually work together. I want to show you something. So I've been featured on all sorts of stuff, ClickFunnels and Bay Area Focus. I also was faculty, still am faculty at digitalmarketer.com. I have a column at entrepreneur.com where I literally write about remote teams and take a guess, artificial intelligence. A big milestone for me.
You got 3 minutes left, Jeff.
Yep. And that's the best part. It takes 60 seconds.
All right.
And
cool.
by the way, this was a huge milestone for me. I got featured in Success Magazine with Tony Robbins this month. So what I'm going to show you guys is how I literally took every single social media post that was performing high, well, all of them, and I took the top 100 best social media posts and I put them into a Google Doc, 197-page Google Doc, okay? And then I uploaded that as a data set, will be called training data, to ChatGPT. So now I created what I call the viral social media post generator, okay? All I have to do is click, help me create a viral post. And then what I can do is say, I'm speaking at an event, all right, showing them how to build training data for AI. It's important to give it good data. All right. Just for time's sake, I want to make it short. Make it. Oh, by the way, check out the shirt. This is my favorite prompt. If you guys don't know, this is very important. Make each sentence its own paragraph. I had to make a shirt because I type this every damn time. Make each sentence its own paragraph. Okay. Now the goal is to show you what this does. Okay. We're going to let that go and we're going to go to Claude. We're going to do side by side. Here we go. That's all I'm going to show you today. And hopefully you'll be able to see the difference of why you should be using Claude over ChatGPT. I'm going to take the exact same prompt. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to say Jeff's most viral data set, same exact data set that's in ChatGPT. Say, write a viral post about how. Okay, here we go. Let's read ChatGPT. All right. Just announced I'm speaking at the upcoming tech conference, How to Build. I didn't give it information about that. Why does this matter? AI is only good as the data we feed it, garbage in, garbage out, right? I'll show you how to curate and create top-notch data sets that make your AI smarter. Not just any data, high quality, diverse, balanced data set. It's the secret sauce that differentiates successful AI projects from failures. I'm not going to read all of it, but all you can see here is that it's writing in a very good manner, already better than anything you see people using ChatGPT to write. And then it made a corny image. All right, so there's ChatGPT. Now let's go look and see what Claude did for our last minute here. All right, here we go. I'm speaking at an event that's going to blow your mind. I'm revealing the secret to making AI work for you. Notice the capital here. All right. Now, I don't like the fact that it's using emojis, so I'd probably tell it not to use emojis. It all comes down to one thing, training data. Most people think AI is all about algorithms, the fancy code, the complex models. But here's the truth, garbage in, garbage out. If you want AI to deliver mind-blowing results, you need to feed it mind-blowing data. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. I've spent years testing the art and science building training data, testing, tweaking, refining, and now I'm ready to share my secrets with you. In this exclusive event, you'll learn, there's the 3 secrets: how to select the right training data, how to structure your data, how to clean and pre-process your data for optimal results. But that's not all. You'll also discover the common pitfalls to avoid when building training data, the insider tips, blah, 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 blah. This post right here, this is ready. This is ready for email. This is ready for social media posts. This is ready for an announcement, email blast for marketing. You can even use this as JV. I can literally type in there, hey, I'm about to do this presentation with Norm and Kevin, and throw that in there. And that's it. That's my speak. That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Good job, Jeff.
Oh, and
Good
then
job.
like I said at the end, here's my QR code that was literally built in ChatGPT.
There we
You guys-
go.
There we go.
If you guys want to download our training data and steal it, there it is. Enjoy.
That was fast and fantastic. Thanks a lot,
Boom.
Jeff.
All right. Next up, we've got Mr. Mike McClary. Mike, are you in the house? Mike, are you here?
Yes, I am. All
There
right.
he is. All right.
Let me get my screen ready to share.
All
Hold on
right.
1 second. Presenter view. I like narrating when I'm doing this stuff. All right. Full screen. And then. All right. We're looking
All
good.
right. Looks good. Your 6 minutes is starting right now.
All right, I got 6 minutes to show you guys to make 5 videos that are stunning and will help you grow sales. So I got to talk quick. They're going to look like this, though. These are actual screenshots from videos I created using the exact method. Perfect for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, basic, whatever. They're really cool. Here's a little snippet of what they look like. You may not hear this, but it doesn't really matter. If we have time, I'll show the whole thing, but I don't got a lot of time. So the goal isn't to create like cool videos. It's actually help you grow your sales. And so we want to create these stunning and engaging videos because they don't want to just be videos people like watching but do nothing. They got to be engaging. You want to help grow your brand quickly and easily because I'm lazy. I don't got hours to spend on this stuff, and with zero selling because the goal isn't to create advertisements. That's a whole nother department. These are to create videos to grow your brand, get people interested in you and your topics for the ideal customer, and reach out to you. Now, the types of videos that we create are called listicles. You guys have all heard of them. Simply lists of relevant topics. Some examples are 5 must-have items for your next family camping trip, 7 cultural myths about solar eclipses. If you sell eclipse classes in 20 years, perfect time to do this. Top 3 hiking trails to do in the Midwest, and 4 essential snacks for diabetic athletes. Just random lists. You don't have to come up with these though, because one of the 3 tools that we use will do this for us. So the 3 tools are ChatGPT. You can use Claude, works awesome. I love it as well. I like Midjourney. You can use any image creation tool. I saw Max. You can use there if you want to. I like Midjourney for this because it does really good cinematic photos. And CapCut is the tool of my choice for editing these videos, but you can use any one you want, but I like using this. So for every video, you need 2 things: a script that's 60 seconds long and 10 to 15 images, 10 to 15. Don't freak out. This is going to be done all for you. It's kind of cool. So for the script, we're going to use ChatGPT or anything you want to give you a list of video topics, a list of every item put in those videos. So if you want 5 videos, ChatGPT will give you those 5 videos for your perfect avatar. Then it'll also give you the items put in those videos. Then it's going to give you the exact script that an AI voice is going to speak for you. And it's also going to give you every single image prompt to cut and paste right into Midjourney for these awesome little cinematic photos. This is the prompt. I'm going to give you it though. I just created a custom ChatGPT a second ago while we're on here that I'll give you the link to, and it's going to spit this out for you. So this is the output you're going to get. You see that it's going to give you the title. This is actually cut and paste from this morning. Me using this, the title of the first article, the narration, what the narrator is going to say, gives you the exact prompt for 2 of the photos to play while the narrator is speaking, goes to the first item, the camping lantern in my situation here, then more visuals for that, so forth and so forth, gives you every single thing that you need to do. So when you use this prompt, it'll give you the scripts and also the the image prompts. Next, you have to create the images. Super simple. Again, love Midjourney. Simply copy and paste the exact prompt, nothing else you need to do, into Midjourney. You'll get 4 little boxes. Choose the one that you want, upscale it, and then save it. So it's going to look like this. This is the Midjourney prompt, a cinematic photo. That's my secret sauce. I love that on my photos. Makes them look amazing. Cinematic photo of families sitting around a campfire, laughing, enjoying marshmallows. It also puts in the right aspect ratio, so it's perfect for short form videos. You do that, it's going to give you 4 images like this. Pick the one you want, upscale it, and then save it. You're then going to do that for all 10 to 15 images. May sound really hard. It's not. Should take about 20 minutes or so. When you've done that, we now got our script, and we have all of our images that we need to create these videos. So let's go make our movie. Again, I like CapCut just because it does everything that I want. The option I like to use is this script to video, but we don't use everything they want. I use what I want to use. So we're going to go in there, choose this option, write your own script, because we already had ChatGPT do that. Paste in the script, choose the voice you want. I like the British male. He sounds kind of cool. Test out the other ones as well. Click on generate video, and then choose the option to use local media, because we have all of our own media. We don't need their junk. It's okay, but it's not great. When you do that, it's going to give you output like this in 30 seconds. It's going to give you all the voice narration. It's going to give you all the captions. It's even going to give you music. We don't want the music because this kind of sucks. I use what's ever built in natively to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. So let's either delete the music track or just silence it. Either one works fine. Next up, let's make sure you have the right aspect ratio. So there you'll see we can change it to 9:16, perfect for shorts. Then we have to import these 10 to 15 images. Don't click the import button. Let's drag them. Works out better because Midjourney images are a weird format that Google likes, but CapCut doesn't. So just drag them up in there, and then all your images are in CapCut. Once they're there, drag them down, then all your images are on your timeline inside of all your other assets. But sometimes it'll be too long. We need to shrink them down a little bit. So all you do is just highlight them all and then shrink them down so your last one ends with the end of your voice narration. You're pretty much done if you want to be, but we don't want to make this look really cool now. So this is where the magic happens. Inside of CapCut, you want to highlight the first image, click on AI Stylize, click on Style, and then choose this option, 3D Zoom. Biggest hidden tool gem inside of CapCut. When you do that, it's going to take a little flat image and make it look like this. It's 3D, it's zooming out. It looks like a little mini video. You pair those all up, all 10 to 15 images, it looks like an awesome professionally cut image. You repeat that for every single image. It will take you about 10 minutes to do that because it takes a little time to process that. But you really are done at that point. But I want to go a little further. So some bonus tips for style. I like to put in some transitions between the images. Super simple. Go to transitions, CapCut. Choose mix. You can choose any one, but this one's really simple. Kind of does a nice little blur between the images. Drag it down to the first one and then choose apply all. Within 15 seconds, you're done with all of your transitions. Next up, I also like to use a little bit better captions that look kind of like that TikTok style. So you can delete the ones they gave for you, choose auto captions, choose their generate. It'll go through the sound and it'll actually generate captions, choose templates, and then pick one of those templates that you like. I like the one that does a little perfect while it's moving along with your voice as well. And finally, bonus tips for style, the last one, let's subtly tell them who you are. Put some little logos, not quite, a little transparent. I got Zoop up there, amazing. Old Fury Fitness, for those who remember that. And what's this one? Marketing Misfits. Subtly in the corner, just kind of showing off right there during the video. It's not on their face, but it lets them know who you are. When you do that, then you just kind of add in the logo, drag it down for the entire time, set the opacity to about 34%, and you are done, and it looks amazing. Everything looks awesome. If I will give you guys a link to what the video is going to look like at the end here. It's a really cool video. This one did like twice as good as my other videos I didn't create this way. But when you do this, you are really going to have some awesome videos. It takes about 30, 60 minutes. You'll get faster, but these do exceptionally well as far as engagement goes.
Awesome.
Done.
Wow, that was fantastic, Mike. So Mike is number 4 in the vote.
Mike is number 4. So if you like Mike's, if you're keeping the score at home, so you can vote at the end. We actually might even just give a prize to the winner as well. So these guys have spent some time. So what do you say? Actually, Norm, we actually throw some cash from our sponsor Vodka to the winner of the main presentations as well.
I'm all for it. These have been great. I've been taking notes.
Yeah, this has been good. I'm already like, shit, I got to go back and watch the replay on this and like slow this. Mike was going at like 3x speed there. So I'm like, I got to go back and slow this down and have my bot to actually summarize this. Cool. Awesome. Who we got next, Norm?
We have Larisa Herbai, and she's number 5. Larisa, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Great.
and you've got 6 minutes.
Perfect. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
All good, right?
Perfect.
So, okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. So my session is about how to create powerful listings based on customer persona. A few things about me. I'm Larisa Herbai, CMO at IntelliRank, IT engineering background, a master's degree in marketing, and I'm helping Amazon seller rank and launch their product on Amazon. So maybe you're thinking, what is a customer persona? For those asking, is a detailed description of someone who represents like your target audience. It is more than knowing a general client avatar. This persona is fictional, but based on a deep research, you need to understand what are the desires of your customer avatar. You can call it like customer persona, audience persona, or marketing persona. So how we create this customer persona using GPT, having the right prompt and to export it to a table so you don't need like to recreate it over and over again. I created the prompt. It's a general prompt. Step 1, open the ChatGPT and input the prompt. You have a link to the prompt, so don't need to take note of it. I will be sharing with the entire team here. Now, in this example, I created the customer persona for a yoga mat, more exactly for a yoga practitioner. Next, analyze like the results that the ChatGPT is creating for us. It's an extended result. We need to analyze it very carefully and make sure that we have information about their desires, their fears, how is influenced their purchase decision, and so on. Next, export it into an Excel so we can have it very, very close to us. Now we have the great details such as demographics, need, challenges, decision-making process, key influencers for the target client, and we can use it further. Now we will move to double check the results we obtain. I prefer doing this like double checking, not because I do not trust ChatGPT, but we have a lot of data like reviews from competitors, and we have Helium 10 with the extension, and we can extract all the reviews, and there we have like the pain points, the desires, and good and bad parts for the product that the competitors are selling. Download the Excel using Helium 10 extension. After we download the Excel, we ask ChatGPT to analyze the Excel and to extract at least 15 frustration, fears, and desires directly from the customer reviews from the competitors' listing. Next, we download the Excel, the second Excel, and we call it like customer sentiment. This is the name that I try to come up with. Analyze to see if the personal Excel that you created, like the customer persona, is created by cross-checking your customer sentiment Excel from the competitors' reviews with the Excel that ChatGPT created for you. So next, we proceed with creating like based on the customer Excel and the ChatGPT. We create the bullet points, the title, the descriptions, and everything that we need in order to communicate with our customers. Ask ChatGPT to create a title for your product while giving the customer persona Excel that we cross-checked with the customer sentiment and the main keywords. Analyze the result, never trust solely on the AI. And we repeat the process until we create like the description as well, the bullet points, and yeah, we make sure that we have everything in place. This is kind of all from my end.
Awesome. That was great. Larisa, good job. Larisa is number 5. If you're keeping track at home on who to vote for later, we're going to throw a cash prize to the who you guys vote as your favorite AI topic today. We've got 14 more still coming up. But before we do that, I know there's about 100 of you that just showed up since I did the introduction. Even Norm missed the introduction at the beginning. So I'm just going to take a couple minutes here and show you The reason that we're doing this webinar today is to promote our new podcast. So a few of you missed that. So let me just show you real quick. Norm and I started a new podcast called the Marketing Misfits. The first episode came out yesterday. We've recorded the first 9 already. Some amazing stuff coming. But our very first guest is Katie Wells. Peter Thiel has picked her out as someone that he wants to actually have lunch and dinner with, just to pick her brain. Just watch this podcast. It's an amazing, amazing podcast about entrepreneurship, about how she actually has her kids. She actually makes them start a profitable business before she'll help them get a phone. And they got to do P&L statements and all kinds of stuff. We talk about mental mindset. We talk about, we go all over the place on entrepreneurship and marketing and everything. It's a really, really good podcast with her that we're kicking it off with. A new episode comes out every Tuesday. In fact, a few people unsolicited left a couple comments yesterday saying, hey, this is a really great format. You and Norm did a good job back and forth. It's great to get out of the Amazon fishbowl and hear some inspiring stories. If Kevin and Norm keep this level of quality up, it's going to be a go-to podcast for sure. You can go to marketingmisfits.co, not .com, but .co, and there's a link to it there, or you can check it out on Apple Podcasts, or you can go to YouTube. Here's 2 QR codes you can scan to check it out. We have a new one every Tuesday, and they get better as Norm and I get our rhythm down, because we're used to doing podcasts by ourselves. So the 2 of us bantering back and forth and getting the rhythm down, not stepping on each other's toes and stuff, gets better and better as you'll notice as we go. But the first one's really good as well. But hopefully you'll check that out. And around this, one of the reasons that we're doing the podcast is we want to get outside this Amazon bubble. And we find that a lot of times when Norm and I go to events, we usually hold court with cigars at night. All the young kids are going and partying in the clubs, and we're sitting out somewhere smoking cigars with 5-10 people drinking whiskeys, telling business stories, telling life, and Coke Zeros for you, telling life stories. And there's really good stuff that comes out in that. So what we decided to do is actually this is really cool. Why don't we do an event like this? Why don't we do an entire event that is basically no presentations, nobody talking. It's just cool entrepreneurs hanging out together, having fun, shooting the shit. We did this at the F1 in Austin in 2022. We had 12 people, and it was amazing. Abe Shamali was there, Coron. We had Howard Ty. We had a bunch of people, and we did it first class and really, really cool. We're doing it again this August. It's only 16 people. So Norm and I are 2 of those. So there's only 14 other people that are going to be on this trip. But we're doing it through the Canadian Rockies. And what we're doing is we're starting in Vancouver. Everybody's flying into Vancouver, going to a really nice meal in Vancouver. And then the next day we get on this train. And then for 2 days, we travel through the Canadian Rockies on this train. And this train's got glass ceilings. And it's like a first class train. They're serving lunch and everything on the train. And then on the first night, we stop at a hotel and spend the night in a hotel. And then the next day we get back on the train and continue. And then we end up in Lake Louise. But this train, you probably can't hear the audio here, but it's called the Rocky Mountaineer.
So there is no audio, but one of the things that you could take a look at with this train ride, it does have the glass top, but it's also called the gold ticket, and it's all first class meals all the way. So that's something to consider. We're not just talking about hamburgers and hot dogs. Although I wouldn't refuse hamburgers or hot dogs. Should I hum some music or something? Did Kevin hang? Well, I guess I'll take over from here. I think Kevin's hung.
There we go. So I'm sorry you couldn't hear the audio there. And then we end up after the train at Lake Louise. and we are doing the Fairmont, that hotel you see right there it's right on this amazing lake. This is like, this hotel is hard to get. We had to reserve the rooms way in advance because it sells out even at a crazy rate they charge. But this is an amazing picturesque location. So we have this place for a couple of days. We're just going to be hanging out, eating good food, chilling out there, going out on the lake if you want to. Then that's the view from one of the rooms, for example, right there. This right here is some more views. We're going to the Icefields Parkway, which is also really cool, going out onto a glacier and doing a walk out onto a glacier. So amongst all these activities, we're just hanging out, breaking bread together, telling stories, hanging out at night, drinking, smoking cigars, doing whatever you want to do. It's okay if you don't smoke, that's fine too. But it's going to be really, really cool. So it's just entrepreneurs from different walks of life, just getting together, bonding, telling stories, helping each other out, making really cool relationships. The trip itself, if you're interested in getting more information, you can scan that QR code. The website breaks it all down. We only have 16 spots. It's this August 4th to the 9th. You fly into Vancouver and you fly out of Calgary. We'd love to have some of you join us. It's going to be amazing. The price includes everything except your airfare. So the price on the website that you see includes everything, includes the hotels, includes all the transportation, includes all the food, includes all the alcohol. It's everything except your airfare to get yourself there. So it's going to be a really, really cool trip. The last one that we did at the F1 in Austin, it was amazing. It was just cool. So we're really excited about this one. So we want to invite everybody. CollectiveMindSociety.com is the website, or scan that QR code for more information. Hopefully we'll see a couple of you join us there. All right. Yeah, that's what everything includes. You can see all this on the website. Cool. All right. Who do we got next, Norm? Who's speaking next?
Let me see. Oh, Ritu Java. She is number 6. Ritu, are you there?
I'm gonna get started here.
There you are. Hi, Ritu.
Hello. All right. I'm gonna share my screen here. Cool. Okay. All right. So my topic is how to use AI to build your own automation tools. And I like to create automations the moment I find myself doing repetitive tasks. If I'm doing any task 3 times or more, or my team is, then I know that I need an automation in place. And most of my automations are in Google Sheets and Google Docs. And these are what I call micro tools, and you can build them yourself with the help of ChatGPT. And I'm going to show you some cool examples of automation tools that I've built. I'm also on a mission to create 100 such tools for myself and for my team. And this is just 3 quick examples from kind of different samples of the kind of work I do on a daily basis. So let's get into 3 examples. The first one is creating heat maps out of time series data. So just to give you a classic example of a heat map that in my world, in the PPC world, is very important. This is the hour of day results for your advertising. So you know that Amazon gives data for each hour of the day as well as day of week. Now, I wanted to visualize it in a way that I can see very quickly, visually, where I'm spending the most money, where is my ACoS the worst, where is my conversion rate the worst, and so on. So in order to build this thing, I actually did a very simple thing, which is I downloaded the campaign report on an hourly basis. So this gives you a time series report. Now you can just upload that report into ChatGPT. So I've uploaded my report and asked ChatGPT to help me build this heat map that I have visualized in my head. And I've told it that, hey, I want to be able to use this over and over again because my sheet 1 will contain this sheet that I'll replace every month. And then I will want to see the heat map coming out of it. So it gave me a bunch of formulas. I wouldn't have been able to create these formulas myself. These are too complex for me, but I simply followed, and copied and pasted exactly in the cells that it asked me to, and that was it. And I got the heat map out of it. So again, this is one example of improving your productivity with a task that gets repeated over and over again. Example number 2, this is a word cloud generator, and I can think of many examples of where you might want to create a word cloud. It could be used for like sentiment analysis. It could be used to look at your competitors' listings and see what words they're using more frequently than others. So essentially, the idea of a word cloud is to take the body of text and split it out into single words and count them up and see how many times those words appear in that body of text, and then kind of showcase that in the form of a cloud, right? So this is the kind of cloud I'm looking for, and I created this using ChatGPT. So how do I get this out of my list of keywords or list of anything, body of text? So I tell ChatGPT that, hey, I need a Google Sheets, some Google Sheets formulas. I have a list of keywords that appear in column A. I want to split up each into their own columns. And then I want unique words added up, and I want that list out of it, right? So it gives me 4 different pieces of formulas, right? So ChatGPT is amazing at being able to translate your description of what you want in that tool into formulas, which you can just plug and play, like just literally put it into the formula, the columns that it asks you to. So that's what I did. And at the end of it, I got this, which is basically the words in my first column split out and then consolidated or aggregated this way, which I then put into another tool called Tableau and just created the word cloud that I just showed you. You can also do it with any other tool for visualization, or just look at it this way also. Right. Okay. So my third example is email extractor. And you know how we get lots and lots of emails from lots and lots of people. So one of the email examples that I've used here is Kevin King's newsletter that comes every twice a week. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. But I wanted to be able to consolidate all of my newsletters in one place in a Google Doc. Now, how do I make that happen? How I want ChatGPT to give me something which is called an app script. An app script is just a piece of code that gets attached to your Google Doc. It can read your email, and it can pull out from any email address that you ask it to. So for example, if you have newsletters that you want all extracted and put into one document, you can do that. Or let's say you have seller support tickets and you want that specific email and you want all of that information because it's such an overhead to remember and find, etc. It can do that. So let me show you, you have your emails. Let's say I have this newsletter that I want to extract. I have just told ChatGPT to give me the code, an app script code that can, on a regular basis, extract my the content and put it into a Google Sheet. So this is just a part of the long piece of code that ChatGPT gave me. I am not a programmer, even though I can understand a little bit of coding, but I do not understand this at all. So I copy this and I put it into, in your Google Doc, there is this thing called extensions where you can literally look for app script and just copy and paste. That's all I did, copy and paste the code that ChatGPT gives me. And then I have this thing, it's extracted, it's read all of my email, it's pulled out all of Kevin's newsletters, and it looks like this. And so it's given me by day, it's kind of literally told me each day what the title of the mail was and what the text was. And so I can kind of do cool things like that. I can also put this extraction on a trigger. Inside of AppScript, there is something called trigger, which means every week it's going to go and scrape from my own email all of the stuff that I want and dump it into that one document that I have allocated for this kind of thing. So yeah, that's those are some examples. And the idea is here that if there's anything that you are finding yourself doing over and over again, just turn that into a micro app or a small little automation that you can use or your team can use over and over again. Thank you. My name is Ritu Java. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ritu. That was great. Ritu is number 6. If you're keeping track at home on who to vote for at the end of who's your favorites. Norm, who do we have next?
Okay, we're going to bring up Simon Trafford. Simon, are you there? I know Simon was one of the ones that was having problems logging in before, so
we can come back to him.
Yeah, I'll message him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Who do you want to Who's next
Okay.
after that?
After that is Joe Reichsfield. And I know you're in, Joe.
I'm here. I'm here.
Ah, all right. And there, Norm's showing up again. Hi, Joe.
Hey. Probably should take that off my camera, huh? How's everybody doing?
Good. All right, Joe, you got 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Shit. Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
I see.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay.
Joe is number 8. Joe is
All right.
number 8. All right, Joe, you got 6 minutes.
Okay, I don't have a concept of time, so just tell me to shut up when you're ready. Okay, so far, the amount of information that's being shared is insane and deep. And there's a lot of things about, add this, add that, use this GPT, make this GPT, put all this stuff together. That's not easy. It's really, really difficult. So one of the things that I've done, I try to idiot-proof stuff for myself because I know I'm an idiot. I'm busy. I got too many things going on. I got too many tools to work on. And I'm not a coder, although I code a lot. I don't consider myself a coder or a programmer. So, making some of these things might take a really long time. So what I've done is I have created a website that has all these tools on it for you. And you just preload your information and then all the information is there. So for example, I got a million tools here. But these are tools that I made for my own business that I use in-house almost every day. And I've added they functioned before without AI. I added AI because it makes it sound better. AI is really good at that. But the tools all work for you and your information is all preloaded in there. So this would be the e-commerce portion of the tools. All of these tools work. And you only load your information once. So, there's a lot of gathering information involved with using AI. Understand that OpenAI is stupid. AI is only as smart as the information that you give it. So if you give it bad information, it's going to give you bad results. If you give it no information, it's going to guess. And you don't want it to guess because you don't want it to guess. You don't want it to have to guess who your target persona is. Personas are the start of all this. I have a persona tool that actually uses a persona that doesn't actually speak to or get information from people, real customers, is not a persona. It's also a guess. So what we do is our personas actually feature your client's voice, and we build personas, listings, advertising. All of that is actually done using the buyer's own words. So basically they're speaking to themselves. And with that, so let me get to the options page and show you. I'll open it up. So here's the persona worksheet, and when it's done, give you an idea. Damn it. Sorry, this screen just whacked out. Here we go. When it is done, it gives you 50 different characteristics in your buyer's voice of how you can contact, how you can speak to them, and how you can create your listing in ways that resonates with them. So the way these tools work is everything that you put in there is saved to options. So right here is the options page, and it's got all this information about your product. You can save it so that it's there the next time. You can download it so you have all this information, your hashtag, your target audience, your niche, the features, the benefits, the problems that your audience is facing with your kind of a product. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in here. So then when you go to the tools, let me get it one that works. When you come in here in between the tools, they're all preloaded with your information. So this would be.
Just letting you know, Joe, 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm having all kinds of screen problems today, but basically these tools preload. Let me find some. I ran some of these already. So here's one which is the buyer journey content targeting. So what it does is it creates the buyer journey for your buyer. So Amazon is the end of the journey. Amazon is the cash register. If you can touch your potential buyers before they get to the cash register, before they actually get to Amazon and search for the product, you're going to lower your cost of acquisition. And one way to do that is with content. It's a really good way. And you can do this with a website or just on social media with social media posts. So what this tool does is it preloads your information, and then you run it, and it takes you right through the buyer journey from unaware to aware to problem aware, product aware, decision making. And it tells you, what you can do, what kind of contact to create, and what channel to put it on. So let's do somebody who's aware. So somebody who's aware knows they have a problem, and they don't know that you have a product that will solve their problem yet. So here's contact marketing, publish blog posts or articles that discuss the negative impact of cars and other forms of transportation on the environment, and just how Jet Rocket Shoes offers a substantial alternative. I created a test product called Jet's Rocket Shoes. They're shoes, that rocket you around, gas powered shoes. And that's what all of the examples on my website are. But this is a really good tool. So I have some others. This is just the social media tools that are available. And all of this started with personas and promoting content. So when we write an article, nobody's going to ever see your article unless you promote it. And what this started with was an automation tool that takes an article and creates 5 Facebook posts, 5 LinkedIn posts, 3 Twitter threads of 10 tweets each, 10 TikTok videos. It turns the article into a YouTube video. It creates the email sequences and the lead magnet all to go with your article. And then it schedules it all out over a month to slam, basically, social media, multiple posts, multiple days. Almost every day you're doing a different post on a different site. And it's all designed to
we're at time. Can you finish this in 30 seconds? We're at time. Can you wrap it up in 30 seconds?
Sure. So the site is productlistings.ai, and it'll be live in the next day or two. All of these tools are on that site, and it just saves you time. You don't have to keep putting all this stuff together because it's all there for you. How's that?
That'll work. Appreciate it, man. That was great.
Yep.
All right. Joe is number 8. If you're wanting to keep track at home to vote for who your favorite is later, we're going to give them a cash prize. As well as we have 6 people competing for a separate cash prize as well. Who's up next, Mr. Farrar?
Okay, it's Mr. Sinclair. Max, are you there?
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good, you made it.
I made it. Yeah, I'm very excited. Couldn't get on, but now I'm excited to be here and learned a lot so far. So that's good.
All right, Max. So you can start anytime.
Sure. Can I mind unsharing your screen, Joe? And I'll go and
yeah, you can share a screen, no problem. I think Joe's is still up there.
I just figured it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Joe, if you can quit sharing your screen. So that
that's what I did. Okay, let me get out of this. Stop share. There we are.
There, thank you.
Are we good? I can't see anymore. So
yep, you're all good.
So hi everyone, I'm Max. I'm going to try in 6 minutes to explain the basics of AI and also the fundamentals of prompt engineering. So I hope that after this you kind of have a bit of a basic background into all of these really important topics. But a bit about me. I worked at Amazon for 6 years. I've studied deep learning essentials at Mila in Quebec, and I also am the founder of eContent, which helps sellers to create lifestyle images, infographics, and optimized copy with AI. Cool. So I think the first thing to mention is why we suddenly have all these presentations on AI. Hasn't AI been around for 50, 60 years? And that's certainly true. So we've had AI since the 1950s. I guess what's different now is this shift to generative AI. where AI, rather than being used to do data classifications and regressions, such as when I was at Amazon, kind of looking at what ASINs are actually the same ASIN and kind of compiling that, merging that into one, one ASIN. We now have AI, which is used to generate content such as images, music, videos, like many of the speakers have been talking about so far today. So I want to go into a bit of a background about what this actually is. And the first thing to note is that this isn't some kind of magical being. This is very much a large prediction mechanism. So all generative AI, I'm talking about LLMs and diffusion models and everything, ChatGPT, Claude, everything we've discussed, only understands numbers. They don't have any concept of words. They break everything down into what basically tokens. And if you take all of the words in the English dictionary, you can basically assign every single word a number. And therefore, when you give AI a sentence, it can, based on all of its training data, which is all of the text on the open internet, it can assign the likelihood of the most likely next token. So if you give the AI the word hello, it can run a huge prediction model basically and just say there's a 9% chance that how is the next word is, and a 6% chance that girls is, and 1% chance that squirrels is. Based on all of the data we've seen, that's what's most likely to happen next. And what happens is for each additional, lots of people here talking about prompting, and I will be in a minute, for each additional token that you give the AI, it can make a better guess. So if you imagine, rather than giving the AI one word of hello, but the two words hello and how, suddenly it's got a pretty good guess what the most likely next word is, which, R is probably a 70% chance of these numbers are made up. You can imagine, and squirrels becomes even less likely. So that's basically kind of the prediction model underlying all of these AIs. And the question then would be, okay, so when I put into ChatGPT the same prompt, I'm getting different answers. How come, how come each time I put in a prompt, something different happens? And this is basically what we call temperature. And you see this in every single, or most AI models have some kind of temperature or setting. And what is happening here is, rather than giving you the most likely next answer, it's giving you the most likely next token within the top 0.5% of tokens. So therefore, there's some variation in there, and the higher the temperature settings, basically the more variation. So maybe it gives you a token in the next 1% or the next 2% rather than the most likely next token, and therefore you get variety. And it's through this kind of variety that we get this view of creativity in these models. So then we have quality. So at the moment you've got a AI model.
Max, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'm going to have to run then. So I'll run very quickly. So with fine tuning, you can improve the quality of the output, basically giving it data that looks better and training it. And then the final important step is accuracy. So these models are completely inaccurate and basically are making up. They're hallucinating unless you do something called RAG, retrieval augmented generation. And this is where you combine an AI like ChatGPT with a external database. So this is an extract of our patent. You have an external database such as a keyword list on Amazon, and therefore you can pull in high-ranking keywords or whatever you want to do in order to maintain accuracy. So just running through prompting very quickly. Hopefully you've understood that AI doesn't understand text and turns it into code. I'm gonna actually just skip through all this stuff. We have 2 minutes left. I'll share a link afterwards. So I want to finish with some thoughts about where all this is going. And my number one kind of view is that we're going to move away from PPC. Ads was a great business back before we had LLMs, but conversational search is such a better way of interacting. Everyone here has talked about ChatGPT, how amazing it is. And it's my firm belief of Rufus and things like Perplexity that on all marketplaces, people are going to start to use LLM-based search rather than ads. And we saw this adoption with mobile, and it's going to be the same with LLM-based search. But the question is, how should sellers adapt? And here are 3 ideas. Number one what is going to be most important is intent matching. So rather than matching based on a keyword, you should match based on the intent of the user search. Amazon have released papers showing that this is how they're designing these algorithms, and therefore that's how how we should think about ranking going forward. Second of all, these LLM-based models are multi-modular. They can understand your visual content, so you're going to need pictures and this kind of stuff.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
And lastly, we're going to need to monitor and optimize. You're going to look at, as people start to use these LLM-based search, how are you ranking and what's not working, and monitor this constantly across all your listings. Yeah, I'll drop in a link on the prompt engineering in the chat because I missed that part of the section. But I want to finish with a definition of AI, and basically, my view is this is not a tool. To call AI a tool is a bad comparison, because this AI is seen so much more data than any human. It's completely unpredictable. It's very hard to control if you're actually building these models. It takes RAG and it takes a lot of stuff. So I think a better way of thinking about AI is it's going to have the impact on humanity that language has had in terms of our evolution. So therefore, my recommendation is get to understand it and play with it, because it's going to be so fundamental in how we all are moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you, Max. Max is number 9. Sorry to have
We'll need an hour for that one.
Yeah, sorry. That was great stuff. The chat people are saying really interesting, but we have to keep this on track. Everybody has 6 minutes, so we have to keep it going. Otherwise, we'll be here for until nighttime in these states. All right, Norm, you got one of your good buddies coming up next. You want to go ahead and introduce him?
Sure. Before we do that, I just want to give him a shout out too. He just, I heard on the weekend that he got an award. He was the #1 bestseller in the winner of the American Legacy Book Award for Entrepreneurship. So that's pretty cool. I just wanted to give a shout out to him. But it's Colin Campbell, good friend of mine. You guys hear me talk about him all the time. Colin, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Very good. And Mike, it's interesting because I just switched after 20 years, my Google to Perplexity as the main page that loads up. So it's interesting to hear that the change from search to the LLM models. But let me just talk to you about this. To be quite frank, it's going to go very quickly. As you know, I did have a session with Norm. We spent an hour talking about this, and I'll post that session in the link after we get through this 6 minutes. This was a topic that I wrote for Forbes, 13 ways AI can help accelerate your startup. So think about it like Tony Stark. Tony Stark straps on that outfit and he is now Iron Man. It's absolutely incredible. I'm going to come to you today as a user, one of the largest shareholder in paw.com and a major shareholder in a number of e-commerce companies. And this is how I've used it. So hopefully you'll pick up a couple of good tidbits. First of all, we've really revamped our customer service. We use a number of people in the Philippines. Not only has it helped us with language, but one thing I think that's really cool is it helped us institutionalize positivity. And we are able to use certain words and keywords and have them translate from a standard email to a more positive email. And that's been institutionalized throughout our company as well. That was #1. #2, a virtual CMO. Now, here's a confession about the book. The entire book was written by myself. It took 10 years to write with a staff of 6 in the last 2 years with 200 people interviewed. But when asked to do the inside cover of the book, I leaned over to ChatGPT and I asked them I put the intro, I popped that into the ChatGPT, and I asked it to create the intro for the book, and it was phenomenal. How did I know that? Because the Forbes publishing team told me 6 months later that they used it for the Amazon listing as well and never made any changes to it. Writing contracts. Oh my gosh, don't get legal advice. I start that all the time when I talk about this, but let me be clear. I've used this to write a number of contracts. I've used it to interpret contracts. I've used it to write board motions. I've used it to look at Constitution and actually clarify, make amendments to bylaws. It's been absolutely incredible and has reduced my legal fees at our company dramatically. and it can do so many more things. Now, here's something about writing content. A lot of you have talked about using this to write content. I think it's an absolutely great idea. At paw.com, we run a blog, and quite frankly, we weren't doing a very good job of it. It was sounding a lot like AI, a lot like a lot of the reviews I see on Amazon for my book. A lot of people using AI. Well, I think humans are starting to sniff that out. I had to talk to the team and I said, let's start writing personal blogs. And there's my dog, Peanut. He passed away. And what I did is I used his story, my own personal dog story, and the pain that I went through to talk about an article. It was called 7 Reasons That Companies Should Offer Bereavement Leave for Employees Who Lose Their Pets. And it became quite a popular blog. Didn't take me a long time, but I'm emphasizing we need to personalize AI. It can't come across like corporate speak. And then second, I like to use 7 ways, 10 ways, 11 ways, 13 ways, as you can see from this. Editing your work. I'm not a great writer. I know it sounds funny being a #1 best-selling author, but I'm also not a great writer. And it does help me in communications, and I use it in almost every aspect. Writing a business plan. Here's where I'm going to suggest, if you're starting your business, to not use AI, but instead to use your own instincts, go against the flow. Being an entrepreneur is all about being different. In the book, we have something called the 4 sticky note business plan. Then once you've completed your business plan, then think about plugging that into AI, because absolutely use AI. It can create a phenomenal investor plan at startup.club. We're about to launch businessplanai.com, which is absolutely free service for anyone who wants to write a professional business plan. Lead generation. I was in a show on Startup Club, a live show, and I asked ChatGPT to come up with a reason why people would join Startup Club. And it came out with an absolutely phenomenal lead generation letter. Now with AI, you can get into a lot more personalization. Had the chance to meet with Joe Foster, the founder of Reebok, for the book and interview him. And I was joking around. I was playing with another AI called Pi.ai, which I find very conversational. And so we brainstormed the idea. I do CrossFit. I'm over the age of 50. And we brainstormed this idea together. And she actually came up with the name CrossFit Prime. Computations and coding. We saw a little bit of that today. I used it for our e-commerce business, quite frankly, to figure out what the freaking interest rate costs are on the loans, the Shopify and all these type of loans. I didn't realize how high they were until I punched that into, couldn't figure it out from spreadsheets, even asking my CFO, realized that some of these interest rates for some of these inventory loans were excessive of 30%. And, that's the kind of stuff we want to use it for, to really just try to understand that. Doing research, I use Google a lot. And now I use Google and I use other AI tools. Writing press releases. Well, this is where Perplexity AI has really been shining for me. I literally asked it to write a press release for Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. It went into Amazon, looked at the reviews, pulled the best reviews back. Perplexity's got a much more up-to-date database. It uses the ChatGPT and other LLMs to put it all together. But the reality is, it can do a really good job of developing your press releases. And again, we want to personalize things. We want to make certain it's our content as well, but it's amazing how much it can pull very quickly. Social media and advertisements. We've heard a lot about this today. Let me just say this. We spend $5 million a year at paw.com, and we are obsessed with figuring out how to use AI to make it better to give us a better return on ad spend. And we've got another company in our incubator. It's going to launch in a couple of months. It's dedicated to do nothing but social media and advertisements and A/B testing, using AI to do the A/B testing. Look, AI is in every app, and if you don't look for it, you're not going to find it. And I suggest you do pay the $20 for Copilot on Microsoft, pay the $20 for Perplexity's plan, pay the premium for all of the different AIs. It doesn't cost you a lot, but if you're not looking for it within the applications, you're falling behind. This is one of the moments in time, moments in history where you're going to be able to accelerate your growth. It is not too far in the distant future that we'll see the first unicorn entrepreneur And the reason is that AI can do so many more things than doing it 5 years ago, even a year ago. You can do so much more with AI. My name's Colin C. Campbell, and you've been listening to 13 Ways AI Can Help Accelerate Your Business. You can reach me on LinkedIn at Colin C. Campbell. If you want to join Startup.club, we have 1 million members. And of course, we're on Amazon, Kindle, hardcover, and Audible. Thank you very much. We'll see you at BDSS.
How did he do that in 6 minutes? It took him an hour on my podcast.
He did it. He did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be out in Hawaii at BDSS speaking at Level Up, and as well as he'll be hanging around during the BDSS events in a couple weeks in Hawaii. Awesome. Norm, I think one of our guests that couldn't get on is now on. Do you want to introduce the next one?
Right. Okay. So I'm glad he's here. It's Simon Trafford. Simon, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Okay. We've never actually had a chance to meet, but you are partners with Scott Cunningham.
Yes, correct.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you got 6 minutes, Simon, and once you get your screen up.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so partners with Scott Cunningham, I'm kind of more of the behind the scenes guy where I manage the agency and the teams and the work and all the good stuff. And that guy usually just gets his face out. So you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth today.
All right.
Here's my slideshow and 6 minutes. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Let's start. You want to go ahead and hit full screen? There you go. All right. Starting now.
All right. Perfect, guys. So yeah, I won't go into too much about myself before we dive right in due to time, but today I want to talk to you about winning your customers' attention with marketing hooks. And this doesn't necessarily have to be just, ads. It can be emails, landing pages, product pages, anything. We work a ton with e-commerce and Shopify, so that's primarily where we do this, but I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step guide on how you can kind of generate these things and use them in your marketing campaigns, and they work, and I'll show you how. So this is a tiny little company out of Oklahoma, started in Texas. This woman's father, Leslie, her father, developed this salad dressing in a steakhouse in Texas, and that was in 1971, and these guys have been selling it ever since. When I met them, it was, they were probably doing markets here and there, selling maybe $3,000 a month tops on e-commerce. And literally, funny fact about this image here, this is one of the ads we use, and I think this static image with a bit of copy around it sold over like 3,000 bottles of this salad dressing. So I want to talk about how we brought them from about 1K a month to over 60K a month in about 6 months using this exact formula that I'm going to show you. Another little interesting fact here is that is actually my hand and that is my son on their homepage. So this was filmed in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, very far away from Oklahoma, in my backyard and with my iPhone. So that's what we did to do it. And here you can see the proof. So we went from like basically nothing to like, 60K with, decent ad spend, nothing crazy. All right, we used a free Shopify theme, basically Dawn, that we've modified pretty significantly. Like I said, we use cell phone videos and photos and ChatGPT for a lot of the website copy. And I caught what Colin was saying there. And, ChatGPT is not like, people can sniff out. I always say I can smell ChatGPT in the room if someone sends me an email that's worded a certain way. So, I always say like, use it with a bit of, caution. Make sure you put your personal touch in there. And, it reminds me of my best buddy who's really confident in telling me something, but it's always kind of, sometimes a bit full of it. So he's not always accurate. So, I take what it gives me and I work with it. And as a, creative writer is my background. So like, this is potentially my worst enemy, but turns out we're good buds. All right. So normally we have a 5-part offer stack that we build with all of our clients. And the number one ingredient, I'm not going to go through all 5 parts, but the number one thing, as I'm sure you all know, is hooks. And we use this, we create these by using what we call a before and after grid. And some of you might be familiar with that. It's a pretty classic tool. And the first thing we need to do is come up with our avatar. So we came up with Steakhouse Sam here, kind of give him a persona. And that's our starting block. So once you have that, you can fill out this before and after chart. I've done it all for you, but basically it's, you know, what was this person's life like before they had your product, and what are they like after? You know, what do they have? What do they feel? Average day. And you guys don't take notes on this. Don't try to, like, you know, write down every single thing on here. Like I said, I do have a worksheet for you at the end. I'll give you a link there. And a little surprise about this before and after grid that'll get you started on that too as well. Okay, so, but we're talking about hooks, and the point of the hook is to agitate pain and speak to the customer transformation. Those are the best kind of hooks. And here are a couple examples. These are not the finished ones, but this would be like, you know, something you could pull off the top of your head. And you know what? Not bad, right? But I want to go deeper, and I want to have more options. I want to have a ton of options because I want to test. You know, in advertising business, we really go deep, especially as those budgets get higher. We have the ability to test a lot more stuff and get things very refined. So just examples of some hooks, and I'm going to show you how we come up with better ones than these. Okay.
So I'm just letting you know we have a minute and a half.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God,
Yeah.
that went fast. Okay, let's get to the juice then. Okay, we're going to create hooks. Yeah. So the first thing you need to know is your customer avatar. Then we're just going to say, you know, here are activities that are related to the product, not necessarily the product, and some values that they have. Pump those into ChatGPT and it should spit something out. Again, I don't need to go in all the detail because I'm going to give you a worksheet. That's what it gave me, a blurb on my customer avatar. Then I describe my product, pump it into ChatGPT, and tell it to do a 3-column table with 6 rows, and boom, that gave me my before and after. Then I take that before and after chart and I ask it to give me 15 hooks based on, one is a statement, one is a question, one is a challenge to their undesirable state. Okay. And there are my 15, and boom, I picked 3 really good ones. There you go. Was that fast enough?
That was good. You got 20 seconds.
20 seconds. All right. I'm going to read this out letter by letter then. This is where you can get the worksheet, you guys. If you want to screenshot something, this will be the place to do it.
Awesome. That was good, Simon. Sorry to rush you there towards the end, but Simon is number 7. If you liked what Simon had there, he's number 7. Norm, we got 9 more awesome ones still to go. Who we have next?
We have number 11, Bryan Johnson, if he's there. Bryan, are you there? I hope he's there.
If I can just get the
oh, there he is.
Oh, good to go.
Bryan, I want to see you in that cowboy hat, by the way.
It's up in the it's up in the closet. I actually have the image here on there, but yeah, I'll go ahead and jump in there. I guess I'm starting right away then. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as your screen comes up, I'll start the timer.
All right.
All right. It's all yours.
Awesome. So, essentially what I was just going to cover here really quick is just the advancement that we're seeing in the industry and where AI is revolutionizing listing SEO, search ranking, advertising. And so to jump into this, keyword research, listing optimization, search ranking, they do continue to evolve. In fact, if we look back historically, the traditional approach that we used to teach and was, the tried and true method is to rely on human testing, speculation, just kind of observation. We made this change in advertising and we got this result. We made this change in our content listing and we bumped up, 2 spots in search rank. It was a lot of just kind of like, test it, see if it works. Cool, it must work. Let me go ahead and repeat it until it stops working. The main focus on that though is that, okay, let's focus in on the low hanging fruit, right? We aimed for indexing, just getting Amazon to show things, frequent ad views in the advertising, and ranking for lower competition search terms because that was easier than highly competitive search terms. We then have transitioned over the past few years into really diving into a lot of the A9 algorithm research. There's a number of people in the space that speak on this on a regular basis as far as reverse engineering trying to reverse engineer how the A9 algorithm handles search, handles relevance, all these things. And that's a lot of based off of both testing and the research papers that have come out from Amazon and other authors. Again, the focus is on indexing, but trying to get more consistent ad views, trying to get more consistent ranking, trying to be able to go after more competitive terms, use that as a competitive advantage for our products within our brands. We realized is that the next stage, now that the technology was now available to actually make it feasible, is we decided to jump in and utilize machine learning to analyze big data. We're talking like tens of millions of data points in order to really see like, okay, if we threw enough machine learning, computer power at a lot of data, what kind of correlations could we find? And our goal on this was primarily to reverse engineer how A9 ranks products on search results. Ideally, we wanted to get to the point for our own brands in order to, or for, I should say, for my own brands, as well as my partners, is to ensure long-term ranking stability, but be able to go after more competitive search terms. And that was kind of difficult to do because there was a lot of speculation as far as what worked and what didn't. So we developed the technology to do this. This is not even using things like as far as the language models. This is pre-language models, but it is using AI, is using machine learning and our own algorithms. And this was initially a research project to be able to do the big data analysis and be able to do analysis that would have taken dozens of full-time humans in order to do the same kind of analysis in a month. And we were able to do it within a couple of days. So again, trying to reverse engineer A9 for a search rank, which we did, but we also discovered some things that I wasn't even expecting. And I speculated a lot. A lot of you maybe have heard me over the years, over the last 10 years, speculate on things that I wasn't able to prove. I built tools in order to research these things, but I didn't ever have enough data in order to prove out my theory. So I kind of set it aside, but I was able to bring it back. Now, what did we learn from this kind of big data analysis that we've been doing over the last year and a half now, about 18 months, is the importance of category weighting of search ranking factors. So category weighting is essentially saying like every single subcategory, every single product niche is handled differently by A9. It's not this one size fits all like we originally thought it would be. There's also over 30 ranking factors that we found that the A9 uses. I won't go through the whole list here, but it does vary from one subcategory to the next. But some of the common ones that we would expect are things like conversion rate, unit sales velocity, title relevance, right? Those are kind of like the kind of things, like focus on these. But we didn't know necessarily exactly why. It was more like somebody told me to do this, so I'm doing it. And oftentimes it would work until it didn't. Some of the things that we did find that we did not expect, just a handful of, dozens of these things, is things more of one of the theories that I had back from 2018 had to do with browse node or category to search term alignment. I was never able to prove it. Now I can. Now I see the direct correlation. And in some subcategories, this is very important, more important than, say unit sales velocity in some cases, which is odd to see.
We got one
other
minute,
things
man.
like,
Got
sorry?
1 minute. 1 minute.
1
left.
minute. Content density and sequence, promotion oscillation, price oscillation, right? So I want to take one of these factors, since I'm running out of time here, and I'm going to talk about category alignment, because what I want you to do is I want you to promote the search terms with the highest subcategory relevance for your products. So in this use case here, I'm just essentially saying like, okay, let's say I've got a tote, but I want to show it for things that are seasonal, like teacher's appreciation gift, right? And so I've got this tote. I do maybe some Helium 10 keyword research or whatever tool that you choose to use. And then I take each of those search terms that are relevant to the research that I did. I go out to Amazon search and I look at those departments that show up on the left-hand side. Those are in order based on importance to Amazon for each of the search terms. I want you to promote those for the ones that are directly in line with your product, for the product category that your browse node or subcategory that your product is assigned to, whatever's in the #1 spot. So for instance, tote bags, women's tote bag comes up #1. Cool, that's an obvious one. Some of these others you can also promote because they do show up for the subcategory that your product is in. But if it's completely off where that subcategory does not show up in the search results in those departments on the left, off topic, probably not going to show ads well, probably not going to get the click through and convert well. Stay away from those. And there's the cowboy hat for you, Norm.
There you go, Norm. There it is.
All right.
Looking like Clint Black there.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Awesome. That was great job, Bryan. Appreciate that. Norm, we're rocking here. We got like 8 more to go, and then we have a little contest among the audience. Who's up next?
Okay, this is number 12, Britton Upchurch. Britton, are you there?
And Bryan was number 11, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Just to remind everybody.
Hey, I'm here. Oh. Hey, everybody. A lot of friendly faces here. This is really fun. I'll share my screen and I'll get started.
All right.
Can you all see this? Yeah, I think you can see that.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was interesting, Jeff, I think you were number 2. Jeff did a poll about who's using ChatGPT or Claude. And I'm going to show you something about Claude. But one of the other things Jeff was talking about was how you always see delve come out from ChatGPT. There's all these like tell words that, unlock, unleash. And there's an interesting thing that came out recently about why that is. And the thing that really makes it happen is where the cheapest English labor you can buy in the world is. And that turns out to be Africa. Africa is the cheapest English freelancing writing you can get. And it just so happens that in African business English, the words like delve and unleash and unlock are really common. So in the early days of chatbots and in the early days of training ChatGPT, which used a lot of manual feedback to make sure it was working right, all of these African freelancers accidentally trained ChatGPT to say delve all the time. So all those words, that's actually an artifact of the data that goes in to train the model, which is an interesting little thing. That's actually going to play into what I'm talking about here, which is XML tags. How do I get to the next slide? I'll do this. So real quick, who am I? I'm Britton. I used to be a copywriter of 8 years. I taught myself coding in AI, and I built Percy, which is an AI listing management and generator tool. So I spend a lot of time getting LLMs to do exactly what I want and understanding how they work on the inside. And I'm going to give you a little insight into that today. A real quick primer. So just like we just talked about, language models are trained on huge data sets. And whatever company is training them, Anthropic, OpenAI, whoever, they can structure those data sets in different ways. That's their secret sauce. So they don't talk about it a lot of times, but they have to give that data to the model in somehow. And if you structure data in your prompts in the same way that model has been trained, that model is going to perform better. I'm going to show you how to do that in Claude. Really quick, what are XML tags? That was my title slide. This is the one thing I'm going to show you. XML tags are just simple HTML style tags. You see a few here on the right. They can have any name, but the important thing is that they have this caret on either side and that there's an opening and closing tag. So an opening tag has no slash and a closing tag has a slash on the front. That's the same format as HTML. This is not HTML, so I promise this doesn't get super technical, but this is a really common data format structure. Basically what this means is anything that's in between these tags, the computer will see as that label data. So addresses would go in between here, names would go in between here. Pretty simple. Why am I telling you about this? Well, just like delve and unlock and unleash were trained into ChatGPT, Claude's training data is structured with XML tags. So when they were creating the main data set to train Claude, they used XML tags for a really interesting reason. If you use XML tags in your prompt, you're now literally speaking Claude's language. Claude is pre-programmed to understand XML tags really well. So that means if you use XML tags in your prompt to label anything you want, it could be addresses, it could be names. Norm, you're writing a book. You could use XML tags to list your characters or to list chapter topics or something. Anytime you do that, Claude has an easier time understanding your inputs, and it also has an easier time giving you better results. So what does that look like? Here's a few simple ways you can use XML tags. If you have a letter you want to write to factory suppliers, you could put your background inside one XML tag, and you could put product information in another XML tag. And it's a really small thing. It's not a huge change, but it can, especially with complicated prompts, it can give you way better results. That's just going to help Claude understand, as it's using attention to look back over this prompt to generate your message, it's going to have an easier time referencing that information. Another thing you can do is nest XML tags. So for instance, let's say that Norm's writing a book with Claude. Norm, you still writing that book? Yeah, he is. So if you had characters and you wanted to label different aspects about that character, you might nest tags. So you might have character and then attribute 1, attribute 2. This is an interesting way to structure information so that Claude understands it really well. This is an example of giving chat history to Claude so that you can generate a customer support message. Again, really simple. It doesn't take a lot, but it really does clean up Claude's job. The final little tip here is you can also ask Claude to give you XML tags in the response. So if you're just doing a quick, hey, write me an email that does this, you might not need this, but for instance, at Percy, we generate entire Amazon listings and optimize them and do all kinds of stuff. So we get really complicated outputs, and we use XML tags to make the responses better. So that's the whole tip. This is only for Claude. I should have told you that at the beginning. If you're using ChatGPT, this is not going to work as well. That was that was the first ever real model that people used, and Claude's built on that with this really interesting tip. So use XML tags in your Claude prompts. Name them anything you want. Make sure that you close your tags. If you open a tag, you better close the tag, or else it's gonna look really weird to Claude. How am I doing on time, Kevin?
I just finished.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Any questions? Hit me up, Britton at Percy.ai.
Awesome. Great stuff.
That was fantastic.
Awesome. Who do we have next, Norm?
Let me see. Okay,
that was Britton was number 12, by the way. Number 12.
Right. Okay, I got it.
Remind everybody.
So it's Bryan. So Bryan McAnulty. I hope I said that right, Bryan.
Yep, you got it. Hey,
All right, everyone. Good. How's it going, Bryan?
Good. Doing well. Some great presentations here already. So let me get my screen up here. All right. Hey, everyone. So today I'm going to talk with you about how to leverage AI and build an AI team, specifically about how to write prompts and a 4-part prompt writing structure. Some quick background on myself. I'm the founder of Heights Platform. We are the creators of one of the first publicly available Copilot e-commerce products on the market and the first autonomous AI coach. So that's some background just to know we know what we're talking about, and I'm going to just kind of share the same stuff is what we use to actually build applications that use AI. So we're going to talk about how to write for AI. You can use this in ChatGPT, you can use this in Claude, and just in general when you're trying to build something with AI. So what can AI do for you? And here's what it does for me. It answers thousands of questions from our customers every single month. It proactively emails customers with guidance based on their goals. It researches, categorizes, and communicates with leads. It files detailed bug reports for our product. It creates tasks from what our team discusses, and much more. But have you struggled trying to get AI either to do what you want or provide accurate information? So I'm actually glad that we had the presentations earlier, because what Britton just said and what Max earlier covered goes into some of the technical parts to save me time and explain some of what I'm going to talk about here today as well. So I want everyone here to think about what's a specific task that you want to accomplish with AI. And now for 30 seconds, I'm going to get a tiny bit technical, and then we'll get into this 4-part formula. So I want to talk about how AI works and this concept of vector similarity. This is kind of like what Max was talking about earlier about how AI sees numbers. So imagine you've got all the stars in space, and some of them are closer, some of them are farther apart. And the way that AI works is it's turning everything you say into this mathematical meaning where certain concepts relate better to certain others. And what you want to do is, from all the things that you put into a prompt and everything AI gives you back, you want to keep it operating in this space where it's going to be near the answers that you want and near the things that you want it to do. And this is important to understand because every word and every character that you use in a conversation with something like ChatGPT or Claude is going to influence what it's going to give you back. So now it's time to learn how to get it to do what we want. And if you have experience delegating tasks to an assistant, to a teammate, or a partner, then communicating with AI may become a little bit more natural to you. And if not, learning to communicate with AI is going to help you better document processes for the people that you work with every day. So when structuring a prompt, we want to do a few things. We want to break it down into small tasks. So start with something really specific first. You might be able to add to that later, but you all know, like right now, you can't just go up to AI and say, make me $1 billion. It can't do that yet, but it is really good at small, defined, specialized tasks. So I'm going to talk about formatting techniques to make that work for you, and then a template for explaining those tasks. And the first step here out of your 4-part formula is instructions. You want to write out general instructions that define the personality and the purpose of the AI. And so generally, this is just like a sentence. And so you're telling it like, hey, this is what you do, this is what your purpose is. Because you have to remember, if you are working with AI, it's kind of the equivalent of walking up to a random stranger on the sidewalk and saying, hey, do this thing for me. They have no clue what you're talking about. They have no context on that. So you have to give the context to the AI. Next, you have your rules and guidelines. So as clearly as possible, you want to write out all the rules and the guidelines that it should follow to complete the task. Now, these two things already, this is kind of obvious, and it's probably what most of you are doing when you're working with a tool like ChatGPT. The next one is where I see most people skip, and that is the response format. So if you are asking AI to do something, if you're very clearly describing the steps, but what you get back is not what you wanted, or it's not in the format that you wanted, then you want to explicitly describe that to ChatGPT as well. So you want to say down to the specifics of how much it should write, the formatting it should use, and the questions that it may answer or not. Then, if that still didn't work for you, if you're still not quite there with what you want, then you can give it response examples. And what this is 1 to 3 examples of an input from what you would give it or what a user would give it, and then what it would respond. And you want to actually write exactly what you would want it to say if some certain information. And with that, you're kind of able to train it in a very small amount of what it can do.
We got 1 minute left, Bryan.
Yep, thanks. So now here's an example. And what you're looking at here, it's probably going to be a little bit too small to see on the screen, but that's okay. This is a general prompt that I've created in this GPT I made for decision analysis. So I want to figure out some decision in my business, life, whatever. I made this prompt that's going to go through all the steps. It's first going to collect information about me and ask me a couple things. And then it generates this whole report of these different things. And what I have here, this first line, that is the instructions. Next, this batch here is guidelines. And I'm using Markdown here. So last presentation here talked about XML tags in Claude. In ChatGPT, Markdown works really well because that's how ChatGPT is responding to you. When it makes something bold or it makes a header, it's using Markdown. And basically that is, you put like $ and then the header, that means header. So this is a way you can communicate with ChatGPT the importance of a section without being able to, because you can't go in and do text formatting naturally. So I've got the guidelines and then I've got the response format. And then it continues. You can see it's a pretty long prompt. But here is an example of the result. So here's a quick GIF, and what it's scrolling through here is the actual prompt, like the feedback that it gave me from one single prompt. And so this is this whole report about how to make a decision and its final recommendations. And if you want to try this yourself, I've got a QR code here. You can scan that. It's a free GPT. You're going to need ChatGPT Plus, but I encourage you to try this just to see an idea of what you can get when you tell it to respond a certain way. So now imagine you're building your own AI team. Think about the repetitive tasks that you have and think about how you can translate those steps into prompts and allow your team to focus on the bigger picture. I know we don't have time for questions, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to email me, brian@heightsplatform.com. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Brian. That was great.
Hey,
All
Brian,
right.
I just
Yeah.
checked out that QR code and it gave me an error reading.
You might want to post the link in the
I'm going to post it in the chat as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'll post it in the chat.
Okay.
Awesome.
Kevin, I just got a word from one of our speakers who didn't realize that we were running a little bit late, but he's got to go.
Okay.
And that's Jon Benson. And John, I know you just emailed me. I tried to get back to you. Are you in the room?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
Go ahead and go, John.
Sorry about that, Kevin.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh crap, it's the one day I have to actually leave the house. So
no worries.
Awesome.
So John is speaker 16, by the way.
Speaker 16. Is that a lucky number? So
that is for the contest today.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, just want to dive right in, right?
Yep. Go ahead.
Mind if I share my screen? Okay.
Oh, yep.
I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys something here. Now this is a webinar that I usually do, but it's not a webinar. So don't worry about this. I'm just going to break down the 4-step epic email framework because I only have 6 minutes. So I'm going to break that down really quick. And then I'm going to show you how I do it with AI. So I know this is going to break a little bit of maybe what you've been exposed to here lately, because I know there's a lot of great information about here's how you create a series of prompts, or here's how you use agents and things like that. I'm going to show you how I use the tool, my own tool that we created to do something that this tool really is the only thing that can do it. And that's take a framework that I created years ago called the Epic Email Framework and actually crank out really high performing emails. So these are great for promotional emails and content emails and everything. So really quickly, Epic stands for engage, promote, inspire, and consume. You can see it right here on the screen. Engage, promote, inspire, consume. Those are only really the only 4 emails that any business actually needs. You can fit almost every email you can think of into those 4 slots. Now, it makes it very cool for AI to understand that, because now it only has to chew on 4 different types of email frameworks. And that's what we do inside the app I'm going to show you here. We chew on frameworks. So as you've probably noticed, if you've tried to output any sort of, or get any sort of sales copy out of, say, ChatGPT or even Claude, it can seem a little verbose. It can sound a little obvious. It's not exactly the world's greatest copywriter without a lot of help. If you put a lot of work into it, you can get some pretty good stuff out of it. Well, we're going to show you how we solve this problem. And we're going to show you just with this one framework. Of course, we have dozens and dozens of frameworks, but this is pretty cool. So even if you don't use AI and you just want some email tricks, this is going to help you here. So engage, the very first thing you want to do with an email. You can engage right off the bat, and you deepen rapport by making someone feel welcomed and understood. Now, welcome part is obvious, but understood isn't. And you can use understanding language. We don't have time to go into how to do it. I'm just going to show it to you. Simple words that make someone feel more understood. That's going to have someone stick around your list for a much longer period of time. Now we're going to go to the next step. We're going to make them feel intrigued, and through connection. So connection is massively important, as you probably can imagine, for establishing long-term rapport. Connection to you, connection to an idea, connection's vital. And now we're just going to ask for a simple micro commitment, which is really just a call to action. Read more here, or you can go check out this video here. Something very simple. Get your customers used to clicking. Okay. Step number 2 is promote. That's the P in Epic. And we're going to promote for response, because this is what we all want, right? We're going to get a full-on commitment by focusing on 4 things: wants, needs, fears, and actions. Wants, needs, fears, and actions. Those are the 4 persuasion triggers that must be in every single promotional email. Now, you don't have to have all 4 in every single promotional email, but the whole series must contain all 4. And these are what I call the 4 quadrants of desire. They're the foundation behind persuasion triggers. Persuasion triggers are what makes people say yes, pretty much that simple. And you have to tap on those 4 persuasion triggers: wants, needs, fears, and actions. Again, I can go into 30 minutes on exactly what each of those are. If I had the time, I would do that, but we're going to go it real quick here. Now, these are the 4 that drive all human action. Step number 3 is inspire. Now, inspire takes the place of content. When you hear like, well, I've got to create content emails, or I've got to create nurture emails, I've got to create something that's going to feed my list so they're not bombarded by promotions. That's true, but I want you to be thinking of it in terms of inspiring your readers versus giving somebody content. Content is rather boring. Content can seem rather flat, but if you think of content, just flip the switch a little bit and think of, how can I inspire someone today through a story, through a personal story, letting them get to know more about you, your struggles, and how you overcame them, through a customer story, it could be through a myriad of different ways you can inspire someone. And if you inspire them enough, they will take action. And that's what we want them to believe, is they can do this. And we start by making them feel heard and understood. They have to feel like you are listening to them. If you come across too bold, or if you come across like, I'm going to show you how to get 6 Ferraris as an email marketer like I have, they're probably not interested in that. And they probably don't even think they could ever achieve it. And so they're not going to feel heard or understood. You're going to make sure that you give them hope and give them clarity. So your messages must be very succinct and very simple, enough to inspire hope, and reminding them that there is a solution here, that you have a solution for their needs. And now this sets them up for another round of promotional emails. In other words, if you go back to that graph, you'll see that it just cycles again. And then finally, we just go into consumption to make sure that we retain the customers that actually buy your stuff, but also retain your readers at the same time. You're going to do this through motivational instruction and feedback, basically tough love, step-by-step stuff. Like people love step-by-step. Here's the first 3 things you do after you get the product. Do this, do this, do this, check in with me. And then you're going to give them opportunities, if you have it, to take the next step and go further with you. Now, let's do this.
1 minute left, John. 1 minute left.
All right. So I'm going to do this all in Benson, and I'm going to do it really, really quick, obviously with just a minute. So here we go. I wanted to give you guys as much as we possibly could. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to select Amplify. They're a company that does YouTube videos, and I'm going to come over here to emails, and I'm going to select the Epic email frameworks, and I'm just going to say Epic demo. And all I have to do at this point is literally just click a button. We literally have the magic button. Everything I just showed you is actually broken into these frameworks right over here. All 23 of them are broken out into a sequence. So Benson has been trained to write these exactly the way that we need them written. And then you can come in after they're written and transform them by using our refiners, which if we had time, I would show you that to you. But we'll do this real quick. You can come down here, refine things, make it more exciting, make it less hypey, bring out the keywords, you name it. So if you're interested in software that actually does stuff that sells stuff, because that's what we focus on, is words that sell, you might want to check out benson.ai/norm, and you can get in on our MVP special. That URL is right here. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. That was great. Thanks, John. That's a really good tool, by the way. I've been playing around with it, and I know Norm has as well.
I love it.
It's really good for email campaigns and email marketing. All right, next up, we have our sponsor. Sean, are you here? Sean, are you here? Sean Elias?
Yes, I am. Hey, what's
up?
All
right. Hi, what's up? It's your time up. So this is the only pitch that we're allowed. Bach is actually is the sponsor of this webinar. So he's going to have about 5 minutes or so to talk about their company and their software. And then we've got, I think, 5 more presentations after that, and then a little contest with some of the audience. So Sean, go ahead and share your screen there.
Cool, brilliant. Thank you. It's nice to see so many familiar faces. For everyone, my name is Sean Elias. I'm currently at the Canton Fair, surrounded by the latest products from international manufacturers. Thank you for giving me your attention today. What I'm about to show you could drastically improve your Amazon sales and customer feedback. For those who couldn't make it,
I share your screen.
Almost.
Okay.
About to.
All right.
For those that couldn't make it, I hope they catch all of this on the replay. To see everything and how everything amazing is, including VOC, Schulex VOC, how it can transform their businesses. Let's dive in. All right, let me know when you can see it.
Yep, looks good.
We're good? All right, sweet. All right, cool. So I'm going to be demoing VOC to you all today. Who's this for? Amazon sellers, e-commerce agencies, and brands. Currently, 50% of the users are individual sellers, 25% of them are brands, and 25% of them are agencies. And that's increasing the most as of right now. A lot more agencies are signing up. Don't take my job. Just don't tell your boss. It's not going to replace jobs. It's just going to empower you and your team. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the VOC, Shulix VOC website. We're going to be covering primarily the review analysis today. You start off by typing in a product, a hero keyword, and hitting search. That's then going to give you a list of products that you can then select. And of all the products that you select, it's going to download and analyze all of those reviews. Now you can do this on an entire niche. You can do it on a specific brand. You can do it on an individual ASIN as well. Once we do that, it's going to create a report, and then it's going to give us an analysis. We're going to see the customer profile, who, when, where, what. As we scroll down, we can see wife, friend, husband. As we click these, we can see an example of the reviews that resulted in this analysis. Now, when we click on this, we can also see the number of positive reviews based on sentiment and the number of negative reviews. As I scroll down, we can see based on priority, the usage scenario, and how many reviews accounted for that summary. And as I scroll down, this is one of the sellers' most favorite parts, as well as agencies, rating optimization. So what is the cause? What is the reason why a certain product or niche is getting the least number of rating stars? And what's the reason why they're getting the most number of negative ratings being left? So for this garlic press, the infamous garlic press, it is poor quality, with handle problems being the reason why it gets the least number of stars, with easy to use being the reason why people are coming to Amazon and leaving that high positive review and the high number of reviews. As we scroll down, we can see the customer sentiment based on negative sentiment here, based on order, and positive. And then below that, we can see buyer motivations, again, in order, and customer expectations. Now, we can go deeper, and if we click on these, we can see what reviews resulted in this and analyze each one independently. We can also identify trends of certain sentiments as well. So let's say your manufacturer ships you a new product and all of a sudden you're getting bad reviews. By clicking the trend here, you can actually see, okay, was it the entire lifetime of this client's product or my product, or was it only recently, or was it during a certain segment of this product's lifetime being on Amazon? As I scroll down here, you can read anything with a negative sentiment is highlighted in red. Anything with a positive sentiment is highlighted in green, and we can see which product it is associated with. The funny thing is, this product here is also the product that is being shown for the most number of positive reviews. And what this seller found out was, if I click on their listing here, they found out that a lot of people just didn't know how to use it. That's why they're getting bad reviews. So they went ahead, they created this Amazon video here on how to use it. And it's funny, I recommend you check it out, because you see the guy bashing it, how they shouldn't bash it. Because yeah, there's a lot of emotion in this video, and it's because they found out why people are leaving negative reviews. So jumping on to the next thing, you can have deeper insights. So you can find out what is the occupation of the customer, more details here. You can identify trends from certain reviews and go back. Just side note, VOC, Shulix VOC can analyze up to 2 years of reviews for every product. On the typical plan, on the enterprise plan, it can go even further. So this is an example. We can also analyze all 6,519 reviews based on the 20 ASINs I've downloaded the reviews for. We can filter them. If I go over here, we can also do an AI topic analysis. Now, this is one of the most powerful features of a VOC, because you can actually type in a question and it will analyze all the 6,519 reviews based on that specific question. So, you know, what do wives love about this garlic press, right? My wife especially appreciates this. If I scroll down, we love this so much. My wife loved these things. It was easy for my wife to do with 2 hands, which is kind of funny. And then if we go over here and we click in, I did this. Other than garlic, what else is this used for? And then that takes us into a report. It found 1,929 reviews based on that question. And we found, I bought this for my wife, but I actually found it has more uses than just the kitchen. Works great in the garage too. Enough said. Thought that was pretty funny. Then there is the market insights here, and I'm almost at time. In the market insights, you can actually analyze your niche based on attributes of the product. So we can see for garlic press, the #1 attribute is stainless steel. And we can also see the sales here over the past 30 days based on the product attribute. And then we can also ask the AI here to give us more graphs based on an attribute. Now, we also have a social media marketing tool here. And whenever you type in a keyword, it's going to scour the web for anything to do with it. And it gives us a list of different people talking about garlic press online. I can actually filter this by most comments. And then when I click on one of these, it's going to open up the social media link here. I can grab this, I can click copy. We can see this one has 2,138 comments. And I can paste this into the social media review analysis. And this is going to generate a report based on all the reviews under that social media post and let me know insights based on all the reviews. Then the final thing, VOC, Schulix VOC AI, it comes with two components. It's the review analysis, VOC, and then the AI agent. This, like ChatGPT, is for e-commerce sellers and other sellers alike. You can see here, what is the Marketing Misfits? As soon as I type that in, this AI is going to respond like a human. This is a little widget you can have on your website. You can also have it for your customer service teams. A lot of teams in the Philippines are using this to answer customer service questions. This will not give delusional answers because this is wholly trained on your knowledge base. And you can set the settings here. You can update the knowledge base here. Anything that it knows how to answer, it will respond to. Anything it doesn't, it goes into a smart inbox, transfer to agent, and you can actually respond to it and edit the knowledge base so that it now knows how to respond to that in the future. And then you get this nice little graph here, so you can see how many were transferred to the human, your support team, and how many were actually successfully responded by AI. And that's it. Pretty much my time now.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. That's voc.ai. They're sponsoring the webinar. So thanks, Sean. What's it, about 4 o'clock in the morning over there, right? 4:30 in the morning?
It is, mate. Yes, it's 4:22. And I actually, sorry, I completely forgot to show the special offer here, valid until May 7th. Yeah, for the first 75, they're given a VOC AI 2024 as the code name. It's 100% off the team plan, which is $299. So yeah, go ahead, grab that while it's still available. It's active until May 7th. Everyone gets a month free, and it costs $299. The other plans start from as low as $39 a month.
Awesome.
All right,
That's
very
cool.
good.
Very good. Appreciate it, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks again for sponsoring the webinar today too.
Of course, mate. Cheers, guys.
All right.
See you later.
All right, Norm, we got to keep this rocking. We're going. We got about five more, I think. Who's up next?
We got Doc Daigle. Where are you, Chris?
Number 14, Chris. Is he still here?
I hope he is. If Chris isn't here, I'll email him. Why don't we go to Lauren then?
All right, Lauren, number 15, Lauren Petrullo.
Oh,
there she is. How are you?
buddy. Okay, I'm so excited to be here. I know that you guys have been overwhelmed a lot by all these AI pieces. Norm, like, love your face. Just really happy to see you. Obviously, I don't have the beard side, but I tried to make it look like I had a beard coming up on top. Didn't.
I just wish I had hair, so you got me there.
Deals. Oh, sorry, I just got really excited. Okay, cool. So 6 minutes, I've got like 16 slides. It's supposed to be like a fire hose, but also the one that's not going to be hyper overwhelming. So in theory, this should be like the most relaxing version one, I hope. I'm Lauren. I founder of Monks Media. We oversee almost $40 million a month of ad spend within Facebook. So what I want to talk to you today is the brutal truth about how if you're not leveraging Gen AI within Meta, you're actually missing out on a lot of opportunities, and you're not going to scale into the ad spend and revenue tiers that I'm sure all of us want to do. So if you're running ads on Facebook, amazing, you should be doing this. If you're not, this is going to be a really easy entry point to get into Facebook ads by using AI for your product feeds and all that jazz. So I'm going to share my screen and go from there. So as soon as it shows, hopefully it's the right page, fingers crossed. Or do you just see a bunch of is it the right page? No, showing black. There we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See, I am blonde, so it counts. Okay, so again, this is like, if you're not doing this, you're dooming your ad spend, and no one wants that because Meta keeps a lot of money and it's time for them to give us back to it. So if you want the lazy but wildly effective way, which is low cost to generate better performing product ads, this is how you do it, and with AI. So in general, just a high level of things that are working right now within Meta, really, really quick, hard facts so you understand why AI is imperative to success on ads. And I'm talking about Gen AI specifically, not algorithm pieces. If you are running ads, there's this rule of 4. You get ad creative fatigue. After someone has seen the same ad in the Meta ecosystem 4 times, the drop-off point for conversion success is like scarier than Tower of Terror for the first time. Right. I'm in Orlando, so I may make Disney references. So if you don't like it and you're a Universal fan, lie to me. But you need to have a 25 to 75% creative differentiation for your ads to get served to new people. For any of us that are running ads, a lot of us will do open targeting, or they'll use interest-based targeting. And you're going after, I mean, if you're in the US, going after audiences that are like millions large. But if you don't have diversity of creative at the ad level, and that diversity means a 25 to 75% differentiation, you're actually going after the same pocket of people every single time, and you're not actually getting to that whole 3 million, 10 million body that you want to go after. So the way that you can do it is Meta's AI algorithm AI is looking at your ad creative and seeing what is different. And to be clear, what is not different is yellow background, blue background, red text, black text, having the same image with different text variations. Those don't count as significantly different in that 25 to 75% creative differentiation to go deeper. But you can use AI to overcome that. So again, ad variance is not the same. Creative has to be different. And the way that AI works to find those additional audiences in the algorithm AI is they look at the ad creative and they'll be able to see, oh, there are females in this creative. I'm going to serve this to females inside this 10 million ad set. So you don't have to separate your ad sets anymore of females versus males. You put those in the ads and you can have the algorithm AI read it and distribute it most effectively. Hence, you have a large diversity of creatives to serve the audience and get to them faster. And then just other hard facts. Oh, sorry. Okay. Other hard facts is that, just FYI, Meta's already committed to spending $10 billion on AI in this quarter alone. So if you're not leveraging AI, you're missing out because there's a lot of money. But why do we want to use AI specifically with Meta? Is because AI allows you to reflect your brand values and identity. And then there's also components where you can have your AI connected to your customer service and all of those pieces within WhatsApp and Messenger first. Instagram is coming later. But you're going to be able to do that for customer service replies, but then also for your ads. So the future of your Meta ads with Gen AI, the main component, because there's like so many pieces of AI with Facebook, but I'm just going to focus on these 3 main ones for e-commerce brands, is that you can now do creative outputs within the Meta ad structure. What allows you to do that is you can bring in your brand logo, colors, imageries, and copy to get better creative and better copy. You're able to also leverage third-party AI tools and take what you've seen working on those apps that you're using on your phone, creating ads here, uploading to Facebook, now directly within platform. So where that's really exciting is that the Gen AI that's within the ads manager, you don't have to use a Canva tool or use ChatGPT or Jasper or any other tool. It's all within the ads platform. Is allowing you to save time on your creative editing, having greater efficiency at scale, and allowing you to get your ads out there faster, quicker, and more optimized. So right now, the 3 main tools that everyone who's in e-commerce products should be using within the ads platform right now are cropping, outcropping. You have ad text variations, and then my favorite one is the product background remover. So if anyone is doing expensive photo shoots, and if you're a photographer in here, sorry, But if you're doing expensive product photo shoots and you're trying to have this diversity of creative, if you just have the one product, you can now within Meta remove the background of that product and use AI to type in where you want to have your product sit. Want it in the background of a Parisian cafe? Want it on the beach? You can now have your catalog have thousands of variations for that single product, which when we go back to diving into deeper audiences, allows you to serve your ad if they are more likely to convert because it's a beachy vibe versus a concert vibe. You can now serve your ad within that same larger audience to different people without having to manually bid on your Facebook ads as if you're day trading. Hopefully this is making some sense. I'm going to show you some small pieces on like outcropping. So outcropping is the easy
we're actually down to 30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds. Okay, perfect. Outcropping, this is just where you have a picture. If you have it in a square, it will expand and fill in the space for you so that it can fit. It won't look like this awkward stuff anymore. It's going to fit inside your ideal image size. So you don't have to keep making multiple different sizes. The AI text generator, this AI text did better than the $300 worth of ad copy I pay for every single time. So you have the ability to do AI text generations for your text and your headlines. This is outperforming $300 per ad copy that I currently pay for in my agency. And then of course the background images for your products. It's the most important piece. It allows you to turn trash creative into powerful testing, and it converts so much better. You conquer creative fatigue because you have to go past number 4. And it takes less than 5 minutes to make. They're outperforming every single time for us right now on all of our ad accounts. And you can go further the future of Gen AI because this is just a tip. I'm NDA'd at the Wahoo, but there's so much more coming that like I'm telling you, leverage it now. Way more is coming. And if you want to get ahead, it's a really, really good tool. If you're using Gen AI, let me know how you're doing. That's me. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Lauren. One of the smartest marketers I know. And the most awesome shoes I know too.
I am a fan of shoes. Now you can do shoes in all these different backgrounds. You don't have to pay for expensive photo shoots anymore to run successful ads.
All right. Awesome. Thank
Lauren's
you. Number 15. Number 15. Who do we got next, Norm?
We've got Saj. Saj Adibs. Is he here?
Hello. Hi, Norm.
All right. Saj, did I say your name right? I said Adibs on the podcast.
Yeah, it's Saj Adibs.
Okay, very good.
All good. It's actually perfect that I'm following Lauren because mine is also about Facebook ads, but it's on the prompting side on how to do it inside of ChatGPT and Claude and things like that. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
All right.
Okay. Is this working?
Yep. There we go. Looks good.
Okay, great. So this is just a simple 3-step process, and I'm using this right now to do my own Facebook ads, and I use this exact same system. It's outperforming anything I've done in the last 9 months manually. I just started doing this about 2 months ago. So, and I'll make this available just as a download, as a PDF download without any email opt-in or anything. At the end, I have a QR code for it, so you don't have to type these prompts. But the first step in the process is obviously looking at the competition ad copy, and I'm assuming everyone's used the ad library on the Facebook website. So what I do there is I go to this link and I look at all the ad copy that I like, all the images I like, all the headlines I like, and then I take usually 5 to 10 different screenshots, and then I save those screenshots on my desktop. That's the very first step. But you really want to be very picky because you want to pick the ones that you really like, because you're going to train the AI to actually learn from these and then give you ad copy that is similar to these. So don't, just take screenshots of the top 5 that you see. And then the second part is I usually come up with what I want for the headline. So what I do is I use this prompt. It's a little bit long, but what it does is if you upload those 5 images into ChatGPT, which you need ChatGPT for because it needs vision capabilities to see inside of those images. Claude also is able to do the exact same thing, and it has vision capabilities, but I recommend also paying for the paid version of Claude. It's called Claude Opus, and that has a much better vision capability. And, choose one of those 2, and then type in this prompt here, upload those images at the same time. Claude is limited to 5 image uploads, but usually I just do 5 image uploads from those screenshots just because it does a better job than being overwhelmed. Then it kind of goes through this list here and it analyzes all these different things that I asked it to analyze. So this is a really nice way to know all the different important elements that you need to get pulled out from the ad. So later when we create our headline, when we create any type of text for our images, it's going to come from this right here. And I'll also show you just this quick website here that I didn't see anyone else talk about, but Poe.com, Poe.com. I pay for Claude and I pay for ChatGPT. So instead of doing that, you could subscribe to Poe, and Poe lets you use Claude Opus, the one I mentioned, and GPT-4 at the same time. So you could compare your answers. So you'll start a chat. So you copy that prompt using GPT-4. This requires a $20 a month subscription, but it gives you all these different language models in one. So this is what I would recommend instead of paying for both. I mean, I do this for kind of a living, so I subscribe to all the chatbots, but here you get a bunch of them all for the same price. So this is a good place to start. Then back to the presentation, the next step after I copy and paste this prompt is I'm going to go ahead and get the headline created. Now, based on what Lauren said, Meta also does this. So if you start with one headline, it does give you variations. Sometimes I do like much better what I get out of ChatGPT or out of Claude, because Meta has their own AI, the Llama that they use in the background. And sometimes that's good. And sometimes I do get better variations out of that, but I use it in combination inside of the ad platform and outside using this prompting technique. And this is just very simple prompt. Use these suggestions to create a headline. So the suggestions is you want to continue the same chat. Don't open a new chat. Just put this prompt after you get a response. So just kind of follow this in a system. And it usually gives you prompts in this weird format where it has like 2 headlines in one. But this first one, unlock the power of AI for your business, I just ignore the second part of it. I just kind of take the first part. If not, you could always have a back and forth prompt to really get it to fine tune that response for you. But these 5, I usually take 1 or 2 I like. I put it into my headline, and then Llama inside of, or Meta is going to give me some suggestions inside of the ad too. Same thing with the primary text. I do the same thing, but I usually ask it to give me a primary text less than 500 characters. Again, I just copy and paste this prompt in the same sequence of questions. And this usually gives me a strong hook. It creates a nice call to action for me. And then these are the ones I'm literally using right now. And then the part 3 is I use inside of the same conversation different ideas to generate the ad creative itself, not the image, but the text that goes on the image. I mostly do video ads, but lately I've been doing image ads, and some of them using this technique are getting me close to 10% click-through on some of my ads, which 3 to 4% is what I'm getting with video. So sometimes it's really outperforming what I'm getting with this technique. And then this would be using, brainstorming ideas for visuals and the different text that goes into your visuals. And here's a few different examples that I'm using. So I think we use Magic Studio here. Canva Magic Studio, we let you like 1-click remove backgrounds and things like that. But I would ask for 3 or 4 words that could go on top of the image. And then the background, because it's going to be out of focus like this or blacked out, you could use the Canva image creator to create different backgrounds for you. You could use DALL-E 3 if you pay for ChatGPT, bring that into it that way. This is the prompt resource. This is basically just what I just shared with you. Again, there's no email opt-in, just takes you to the website to download the Dropbox. And do I have a few more seconds to share one more thing?
You got 13 seconds.
Okay. There is a website that is called VWO.com. And it lets me A/B test the copy on my landing page without changing the URL of the landing page. So I don't know if you guys have used this, but it's incredible. So I do all my A/B testing on the homepage of the website. Don't have to spin up a bunch of landing pages, use the same prompts to come up with these different headlines. And then it eventually, as they get more conversion, gives me a conversion rate based on each one on the landing page, and eventually picks a winner. And then you make your headline on your landing page, whatever the winner is.
Awesome.
I think that is it. You can find me on YouTube too if you have any questions. I got a YouTube channel.
One thing I like to say about Saj, this channel he has, Skill Leap, is awesome. He puts out current videos like every day, every week. He's got new videos about AI. So check him out. It's at Skill Leap. I subscribe to it.
Thanks, Norm.
Yeah, no problem.
Good stuff. I think Norm, next up we have Saj was number 17. So if you're keeping track to vote here at the end, we've got, I think, 2 or maybe 3 more.
Yes.
I don't know if did Chris ever get back?
I sent him an email. He hasn't responded. So maybe that tech glitch caused an issue. But we got Vikram on.
Yep, Vikram next up.
Yep. So Vikram, are you there? It's Vikram Chalana.
I'm here. I'm here, Norm.
All right. So this is Vikram Chalana from Pictory.
Awesome.
Very good.
Screen. There you go.
I'm sharing my screen. The demo I was going to show you is how to create e-commerce videos. Since the audience here is e-commerce sellers, Amazon sellers, Shopify sellers, I focused on that use case. And the videos don't have to live on those sites. They can be on social media. These are like storytelling videos rather than ads necessarily. So we'll show how that works. 3 easy steps I'm going to show you and 2 tools. So we'll go into ChatGPT. We have a custom GPT called Pictory GPT, and we'll just give it the listing and ask for the video. It's going to give us a good script and then an initial video, and then we'll edit the video in Pictory with some of your own branding and your own content as you want to add. So that's the demo, and it should be done in 6 minutes. So here's the site I picked up. It's one of Shopify's top sites, Fire Department Coffee. And I have nothing to do with this, but I just like the coffee for a cause. And so I am gonna go into ChatGPT and I'm gonna give it a prompt. So there's a Pictory GPT. You can find it in the Explorer GPT, or you can just search for Pictory GPT. And you can say, give me a video for marketing and Instagram for consumers who love coffee for a cause, and use this URL. That's my prompt. And so Pictory GPT is thinking, and it's gonna actually, it gives you the script right away. Sometimes it'll ask you who the audience is, what the platform is. So in this case, it gave me a prompt. I'm gonna say, give me only the narration, because that's the one that the Pictory product will use. And then it'll say, okay, this is the prompt. Do you want to proceed and make a video? And I say, yes, go for it. So this is calling an API into Pictory, and it's gonna start making videos. And I'll give you a quick introduction to what Pictory is without selling, as I was told. And so Pictory is a platform that lets anybody become a video creator. And it's very easy. There's like 3 or 4 different scenarios that it supports. The one that I'm using is called script to video. So it starts with a script and we'll create a video from it. You can edit videos using text, something like Descript. You can convert an article to a video, which is kind of what I did in this sense. So this particular one is not an article. It's a product listing, but you can also use this for your blogs or any articles you have. So anyway, it's going to take a few seconds. Let me ask it if it can check if you're done yet. And if it's not, then I'm going to show you the one I just did a few minutes ago. Okay, it's ready. So let's go look at what this video might look like. So this is a live demo. Hopefully everything works, and it's giving me some helpful things on what I could do with the video. So let's watch the video, and it gives me a quick preview of the video, and you can then edit it further. So let's watch the preview. This just added a music. The one I previously did, I asked it to add a voice. So let me just show you that.
Smooth flavors of Fire Department Coffee's original medium roast.
Oh, sorry. We use
to the rich, smooth flavors of Fire Department Coffee's original medium roast. Sourced with care, roasted with precision, this coffee isn't just good, it's made with a mission. Founded by firefighters, every cup you savor supports heroes. 10% of net proceeds aid injured first responders. Fire department coffee, more than just your morning brew.
So it created a nice starting point to the video. I think we're like 80% there. What I would do is now I would go into edit video, and I can change any of the scenes I want. I can change I can put in my own branding and stuff. So for example, maybe in the second one, I don't want to show this, and perhaps I can upload my visual. So I might have a visual of my coffee bag with a cup of coffee. This is good. This is good. It also has, so we have a library of like 10 million visuals, videos, as well as images from Getty, and that it will automatically pull into the video. Then I basically just go in there, and I've taken a few minutes to create a brand for that. I can just apply that brand here, and the brand changes the way the colors are. The brand also adds an outro to the whole video. So there'll be a last scene which will basically show a picture of what the fire department coffee looks like. Anyway, this video is now ready. You saw the initial preview of it, but you can basically download it and share and post it anywhere you need to. And again, the point here is not just product listing. Yes, it can do product listings. It can also do videos from any script or from any article or blog. So that's it. About 5 minutes, 42 seconds.
Awesome. Thank you,
That's
sir.
great. Under time. All right, Vikram, that's great.
All right, I think we got one more, and then we'll have a little contest. Norm, who do we got?
It's going to be hard to vote.
I know.
We've got Mike Abramowitz. Mike, are you there?
I'm here, Mike Abramowitz.
There we go. You know what? On the podcast, I did that to you too.
You know, I would mess it up if I didn't know how to say it too. So Mike Abramowitz, I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to do it backwards. I'm actually going to drop my link in the chat ahead of time. So, and am I ready to roll?
You're ready to roll.
All right. I appreciate it. So many great pieces of content that have already been delivered. So my focus. Looks like somebody else is talking right now.
Oh, hold on. We got Zaid. Can you mute yourself? Or Dan?
He didn't want me to get a full 6 minutes. I only get 5 minutes, 20 seconds. It's all good though.
I paused it. You're good.
I'm just teasing. So what I shared in the chat is I just gave you pretty much a full guide and a full playbook on how to create a consistent, predictable Facebook engagement process using ChatGPT and AI. But the goal is to get it delegated and offloaded to a virtual assistant. So I'll show you real time. This is my inbox just to show you what it looks like. So if I went to any of these conversations that have been taking place, so this was all sent today, for me, as me, by me, as an example. So this is a message that was sent paired with a voice memo that was sent for me, as me, just not by me. The purpose, I just want to make sure this is clear, is delegation. The purpose is to get time back. As busy business owners, sometimes we're not able to do everything. So I can't be at all places at once. So this is a voice memo.
And I know it's tough to break through the inbox sometimes. And I obviously saw we had a few mutual friends.
As an example, so there's a voice memo here that's pre-recorded, and it says, "I love your post about boundaries, so important." So my virtual assistant went into my profile, went into Jimmy's profile, loved something, commented as me, and submitted this, submitted a couple of likes, a couple of comments, and engaged with him, then sent a message. And this is how I'm fostering relationships with people through the playbooks that I'm sharing with you. What's the so what this has done for me on that slide deck that I have in here that you could go through. I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. I have this for Facebook lead nurturing, social media content creation, outbound emails, getting me on podcasts. I've been a guest on 57 podcasts, booked 43 sales calls from this. My inbox has been completely managed, but the main part is time savings. Last year, I took 9 full weeks off and was still able to run a very successful business. So here's what you get today. You get the full outcome is a nurturing and lead engagement process just by going through these playbooks that I shared with you. So step one is you go to your guide one, which is defining your avatar. You're going to take this. You could do two options. You could just click on this hyperlink and that takes you to the custom chat GPT that has already been created. And you could just describe your avatar here, or you could just copy and paste this prompt right here into chat GPT. And you just take that prompt, go into chat GPT and copy and paste it. And it's going to interview you to help you figure out what your avatar is. Either way, help you define your avatar, answer these questions. As you answer the questions, letting ChatGPT know what your avatar is, it's going to then give you an avatar. Once you know what your avatar is, then you want to craft your writing style towards that avatar. Same thing. How do you want to speak to that avatar? You take the prompt, have the conversation with ChatGPT. It spits out, how do you talk to your avatar? Step 3, brand message. How do you represent your brand? How do you want the ChatGPT? You copy and paste, have the questions, go to the prompt, and now the ChatGPT is trained on your ATB, your avatar, your tone, and your brand. After you have those 3 things done, you take those 3 and put it into, again, this final guide, which is, I want you to be trained on my tone, on my avatar, on my brand, so that way you can comment as me, send messages as me, create a template for a voice memo as me, and that way I can delegate and buy back my time so my Facebook nurturing, my inbox management, appointment booking can all happen for my team of virtual assistants using my AI. So those prompts, those are what's given to you. You have the prompts, go have the conversation with ChatGPT. At the end, the finished product will be a full lead nurturing and engagement process that's all done for you. And my give is, if you want me to actually build this with you, I'm doing this tomorrow for free at 11 a.m. I'll drop that link in the chat if you wanted to join me at 11 a.m. It takes about 90 minutes. And I would love to just build it with you since I only have 6 minutes right now. So if that's something that could be helpful, I'll drop that link in the chat. That's my time.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And I can, or we can promote that for you too. I'd love to learn more.
Good stuff, Mike. I appreciate that. All right, that's our main 19 speakers. We had one guy that had to drop off. So now we've got 6 that get only 3 minutes each. And then after that, we'll open up the voting. We'll put up a QR code to actually do the voting. These everybody's competing for a cash prize on who's the best. So that was Mike. Mike was number 19. So if you want to make that, if you liked his presentation, make that note. Those numbers will be on the type form when you actually go to vote. All right, next up is Isabella Ritz. Are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're gonna have 3 minutes to show your little trick. You're competing against the other 5 audience members, or 6. There's 6 of you. If they're all
Okay,
here.
the competition is always in the business.
That's right.
Okay, can you hear me well? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine?
we can. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
And go ahead and share your screen.
Okay, give me a second. I am. Come on. Okay, here. Time?
All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur, we are facing, as entrepreneurs, we're facing sometimes difficulties to explain stuff. So, and because a lot of people are very, very visual, it's much easier to explain complicated stuff when you have a mind map. And we created one of the mind maps for ourselves, which looks like this one. And we use it when we're doing different type of the sales calls, or we're just explaining our roadmap to our clients or VA assistants or whatever, whoever it is. And this is how it looks like. To build this roadmap and to build this mind map doesn't take a lot of time. So today, when I was walking the dogs, I decided to create one for Kevin King just as a joke. So I was literally using ChatGPT and telling to ChatGPT everything I know about Kevin King and Norm Farrar. And then I said, create a markdown, in Markdown, the mind map about Kevin King and who he is. And then this whole my mind flow. And then ChatGPT came up with this specific code for me, which I had to copy and then paste into the Markdown. And then I'm copying it from here. So first I can use it right here if I want to explain somebody on spot, or I can embed it to my website. And this is how it looks like. Kevin King's mind map, Kevin King, his partners, and I can expand it here, his communications, his philosophy, what he has, his BDSN newsletter, who is Norm Farrar to him, how they're sharing their activities, Kevin King's activities, Kevin King's webinars, what he's hosting, what is his network, what his $1 billion summit event, what are the locations. I just put there the two of the last ones, his networking, his time management. Of course, we can add always more, but generally speaking, for somebody, if you want to explain your whole process or person, or how you do using your ChatGPT, or how you're hiring assistants or whatever, you can put it just in one scheme, and you can collapse it and you can expand it, and it takes me like 2 minutes. That's it.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you, Isabella. So Isabella is contestant number A in this contest. Contestant number A.
Yeah, and if you want also here's the instruction, I can put it in the chat. It's on my newsletter, but I was literally putting the instruction how to use it.
That's awesome. Good stuff, Isabella. I appreciate that. All right, next up, we have Drew Hartz. Drew is contestant number B. Drew, are you here?
I am. I'm just trying to figure out where my screen is. I'm multitasking.
No problem.
All right. Let me get this all set up here. See that one. And then you guys can see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
All right, great. Drew Hart, I run an agency called Vinculum. We're a full service Amazon agency. Today, I'm going to talk about customizing assistants to write in any style that you want. But we're going to use Hollywood actors, authors, or frankly, anything that you want, any copy to replicate that style. So we use this at Vinculum, and we use it for client messages, blog writing, social media, email writing, just all marketing purposes. We also use it for like legal writing and then customer support. Each of these different use cases have uniquely different writing styles. And these are just a couple of examples. So what we're going to show you here is, and you guys are going to get this exact, you're not just going to get a link to the prompt. You're going to get a link to the actual code that is used to create this content. So you're actually going to get the master prompt. So in this instance, what we're doing is we're creating we're going to use a character, Tony Stark from Iron Man. And then what the prompt will do is it's going to create a quick summary of what the writing or what the speaking style is for that particular person or character, because then Tony's not a real guy. And then it's going to output a structured prompt that's going to provide you a description for how Tony actually speaks. And then what you can do, you'll see that it creates a generic version. So Tony's not referenced in here. Iron Man's not really referenced in here. And what this allows you to do is get an immediate starting point to start crafting your own writing style to create voice tone for whatever your use case is. So this is a test that we did, and I'm going to show a real demo in a second. But what we did was you're going to need to, once you get the output, if you want to just test it, you're going to need to give the bot name a name. So in this instance, of course, we're using Kevin. Norm, no offense, I should have used you or both of you. But then we say you're Kevin, you're referred to as the bot name below, and then here are your instructions. And then we insert the output from the Tony prompt. Once that's done, it'll start actually generating some code. But one of the really cool things is you can actually put this stuff into a document, create a PDF. And in this instance, I just have a really simple Google Doc. It says, what's the purpose of the document? And then I start creating all the personas with snippets of those instructions. And what you can do then is you can attach that PDF to the custom GPT. You'll be presented with a menu if you insert this snippet. you'll be presented with a menu that will let you choose the voice and tone. So you can have 3 different marketing personalities. You can have 3 different styles for sales or legal or whatever it is. So this is an example of what we did. We created a little snippet of some really boring text. I literally asked ChatGPT to produce that, and it starts talking about watching paint dry, which I loved. And then afterwards, this revised version is how Tony would revise it based on the prompt that we put together. So let's go to, you guys can get a copy of this. You have to sign up. Once you submit it, we'll send out a copy of this, the actual master code here. And then if you sign up, we'll actually be submitting more snippets as well. And then lastly, before I do the demo, this is our template for creating bots. I'm just going to flash this because I'm really short on time, but
Drew,
you guys
that's
can
3 minutes.
build
That's
out your
3
own
minutes.
bots as well. There's a lot of reasons for why you want to do that, which I've outlined on the left. So let's go take a look at how this works.
Drew, we're at 3 minutes. That's that. We got to wrap.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine, man. Yeah, that's fine. You guys got enough there to see how it works. You guys can test it out and check it out. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it, Drew. Thanks. Next up, we have contestant number C. Drew was number B. Contestant number C is Naila. Sorry if Naila. I hope I said that right. Naila Shaw.
It's Nyla.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry
That's
about
all
that.
right. It's 2 E's, so it can get confusing. I hope you
Awesome.
guys can hear me. I
We
am
can.
actually on the road, so I wasn't expecting to be here today, but I am very much appreciative of this. So I'll go right in. You can start my timer.
Okay. Do you have a? Do you want to
and I'll-
share your screen?
Yeah, I will share my screen. Give me a second.
You got it.
Oh, sorry, it's not letting me.
You might have
I'm
to.
just
You might
gonna-
have to change the security
Yeah.
and reset. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
But you might have to
Okay.
restart and come back in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
come back to you. Next up, Matt Koston. Matt, are you here?
Yeah, man, I am here.
All right, Matt is contestant number D, like in dog. Matt is here. I'm gonna go ahead
Okay,
and
let me
share your screen.
let me see if I can get that. Okay, I think I'm ready to go.
All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
All right, so this is how to double your sales by tossing products into a volcano. I promise it'll make sense. My name is Matt. I've been spending 10 years selling on Amazon and 10 years in software as well too. I apologize, I have to talk quick. As you guys know, Amazon is all in with AI. The CEO, Andy, talked about every single part of Amazon is working on generative AI applications. So as sellers, we got to take advantage of this. So you guys have probably already seen the virtual try-on. Pretty cool. You can put the shoes on you, see how it looks. You've probably also seen View in My Room, also very cool if you're selling furniture or anything that goes in. There's also View 360, which is pretty easy. You hit that button, you're good to go. And the goal with this, with Amazon's goal is, more people interacting with your listing means more conversions. But have you seen this? Create style ideas. Let me know in the chat. Hit number 1 if you have not seen this before. I'm super curious to see how many people have seen this or not. So number 1, if you have not seen it before. Number 2, if you've seen it. Okay. So what this is, Amazon will actually give you prompts as a shopper to see the product in a lifestyle. So you hit, for example, this is a tent, grass and flowers, and it generates that. And the crazy thing is they make it super easy to share, and it'll share a link to your product as well. And what's very exciting is that this is available in many categories. So not just shoes or glasses. You can do it with Mountain Dew. It wants to put Mountain Dew on a countertop, but that's kind of boring. This is just a quick list of the categories that it's currently working with now, but there's a bunch of other ones as too. But the crazier part is that the Amazon images that they're generating actually have products in them. So when they generate these images, you'll see products that you can buy. There's a clickable hotspot, which is nuts, right? So why is it awesome? Well, now your customers can make more shareable content. They can make memes, that sort of thing. You can even create a customer contest with this. You can throw your product into a volcano and get lots of shares with it because it's kind of crazy. There's also crazy stuff that it makes, right? So one of the prompts that Amazon suggested for Scott's turf builder was a raccoon in Tokyo. And for whatever reason, they're very proud of this. And they'll always have that made with Amazon AI badge, no matter how terrible these actually are. There's some Stanley Cups that look like the Titanic. There's Westinghouse with a generator in the jungle. That one kind of makes sense. So why is this important? Well, Amazon's own stats show that you get 2 times better purchase conversion when shoppers interact with your listing with the virtual try-on or the 3D. So, and 9% more overall when you're, do the view in the room thing. So how do you get started? You can actually do these 3D models for free. The Amazon app on iOS lets you do this for free. I had no idea. Put a number 1 in there if you didn't know that you could do this on the Amazon app for free. You take pictures of your products, it'll create the 3D model for you. There's also a PDF I'll share with you later about Amazon's spring 2024 guide to doing this. It's very cool. They suggest hiring these companies, although they can be kind of expensive. I found another company, I'll give you the details, that they can do it for 150, 300 bucks if you didn't want to have to play with photos. And all you'd have to do is upload it right there, sellercentral.amazon.com to upload. If this was cool, if you learned something new and you want to get the slides, you want that Amazon PDF that I mentioned, scan that QR code or just go to productpinion.com/slides. Happy to give it to you. And also you'll be able to chat with me for the next hour or so if you use that QR code. And if you have any questions, happy to answer them. So that's what I have for you. I hope it was in 3 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Matt is number D. All right. Miss Shaw, are you ready? Miss Shaw, are you ready? Naila? I can't hear you.
I'm ready.
There you go. All right. Go ahead and share your screen.
Perfect. Yeah.
So Naila's contestant C.
Well, thank you so much for accommodating that little bit of a glitch, but what a world without a glitch, right?
That's right.
So my name is Naila, and I'm a techie at heart and Amazon seller by profession. And I started this journey for the last little while. I've noticed that Amazon, I love selling on Amazon, but I am in this tug of war where I want to have a real connection with my audience. And that's where this all came about. So I found a way just to do that using product inserts. And my hack is called Beyond the Box Club. And what it does, it taps into the real thing that we've been talking about for the last little while, which is to establish connection with your audience. So this template will be very much focused on creating a POS compliant product insert. And it does it in 3 ways. One is through offering warranty, depending on the product, lifetime warranty or spare parts, or you can have an exclusive type of product insert where people get invited to your exclusive content, exclusive pre-release. And the last one, which is the influencer way, which is exactly what we're doing here, which is to invite your audience to have and join a conversation. And the beauty of all of this is within the Amazon POS compliance, and I've trained the template to behave in that way because we never want to get banned on Amazon. And that's where this template is coming from. And I'll just create one just to show you what it does. It's very simple. You hit a button and it creates and guides you throughout the process. So I hope you get to use this template. It's a one-click button, and hope you connect with your audience, and I can share this with you in the chat. Thank you, Kevin and Norm.
Awesome. Thank you, Naila. I appreciate that. That was great.
No problem.
Naila is contestant number C. Next up, Sebastian, are you here? Sebastian Hertz, are you here?
Yep, I am. Good evening from Germany. Hi there.
Good evening.
By the way, Kevin, Norm, fantastic you're putting this up, and I don't know how to hit any of those hacks. They were amazing.
There's been a lot of really good stuff here. I'm already I gotta carve out some time to rewatch this whole thing.
Yep, that's I think everybody's wishing for.
Yeah.
Sharing my screen, you should see a Word document.
I do.
Right. So we are brand owners ourselves as well, and we have a little bit of a cosmetics brand on our own as well. And we wanted to hit, of course, the big ones out there. And I made an example of a document in here. This document I've just translated earlier. It's a presentation I've given in German a few times, now 49 pages. And it was mainly about how to find out about like the big brands out there when you, for example, want to build a pet brand, a pet premium pet food brand, for example. Let me move the camera away. And I walked through, get the basic ideas. How do you find out about the concentrates, what's inside the product, and so on. And then we came, of course, to kind of what unique selling points would we get to. And when ChatGPT, for example, started talking about unique selling points, blah, 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 all of a sudden it started talking about avoid inferior fillers. I was like, holy cow, what does that mean? All right, I went in and said inferior fillers. What does that mean? What do those big brands do? So they tell us about all the bad things that the big companies put in there, and also ask what other fillers, flavorings, colorings could I use instead of that? And even if you go in deeper, what I want to show you then, for example, is when you go into directly one of the product brands, you feed it with the link of pedigree, for example. Take that link and ask them, what are those inferior fillers, and directly find out from here. At the same time, now my keyboard is stuck. Fantastic. But it would tell you what kind of ingredients are in there, what empty fillers, what cheap products are there. And also going deeper in there, for example, what does Pedigree and Whiskas do? Like those are market leaders over here in Europe. And what high quality could I use instead of that? So directly knowing what the ingredients could be that we add in here gives us, of course, for sourcing, for product development, for images, for everything else, the ideas what to integrate. And one of the hacks, well, we've seen it earlier from Schulex, which was amazing. You can, of course, take all of your negative reviews, page 1, page 2, page 3. I made an example to save some time. And to put it into a Word document and just tell, for example, ChatGPT, hey, what are all those negative reviews? And this is just a few pages of them. Just copy, paste with previous page, with report, with everything you have on there. Feed it to ChatGPT and tell me, guys, what are the 10 product issues that you mostly have and know what to focus on? This whole document, 49 pages, you can use it for everything, all the way until finding influencers, finding retail markets, how to talk with them, what percentage to give, what to tell a sourcing company, a photo company, or photo producer, and everything. I think I'm probably up with my 3 minutes. Am I? Now your mic is off, Kevin.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Keep using it. Find it out for all different topics. If you want to have the document, feel free. There's also a scan of us. You'll find us on LinkedIn and Facebook. On LinkedIn, both my better half and myself. Ask, I'll send you the document.
Awesome. Thank you, Sebastian. Sebastian is contestant E on this contest. So we have one last presentation if they're here, and then we'll open up the voting. I'll put up a QR code for the voting. I'm going to butcher this name. I'm sorry. Sung Xiao. Seung.
See, I'm glad you're saying it and not me.
Sung Xiao. Are you here? Maybe they're not here. All right. It looks like they're not here. So let me delete them from the.
Hey, check your Facebook. I just sent you a message from Chris.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. All right. We can, yeah, we can bring Chris in. Yeah, Sung's not here, so I just deleted him. Yeah, go ahead and bring Chris up, Norm.
Okay. Hey, Chris.
Hello, hello.
All right. Here
Hello,
we go. World. There you go. Yep. Sorry for the time zone screw up.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'm an idiot. So
well, you got 6 minutes.
Okay, great. And here we go. Do I share my screen or?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Screen sharing commencing. All right, gang. Let's see here. There we go. What's going on here? There we go. I'm Chris Daigle. I'm CEO, co-founder of ChiefAIOfficer.com. I don't normally talk this fast, but I'm not normally on a 6-minute timeline. I educate, train, certify, and provide software for people like you interested in using AI in their small business or in their job or role. So first off, here's the pro tip. Listen, if you're investing your time here learning this stuff, the market wants people like you who know this stuff. Please tell the world only good things will come from it. So got a lot of things to cover. I want you to hear if you know who Peter Diamandis is. Peter Diamandis is a known futurist. He's got a 86% accuracy rate when it comes to predicting what's going to occur with technology in business. I'm going to share this with you real quick.
You know, what I say is there are two kinds of companies by the end of this decade. You know, those that are fully utilizing AI and these exponential technologies, and those that are out of business. That's it.
Okay, so I would imagine that sentiment is not new to anybody here. Cool thing, this was recently featured on the Impact Theory podcast, had over 2 million views. The scary part, this is from about a year ago. And I'm curious how much progress you or your company have made in that time. Right. Okay, so great. We're going to go extinct if we don't learn this stuff. I'm sure you're probably saying, I believe you, Peter. Let's cowboy up and start deploying AI ASAP. And all the research is indicating that executives and leadership, they see the positive impact that generative AI is having, and they want it, but they can't find the experts, the subject matter experts, domain experts who are AI literate, AI enabled, able to look at businesses through the AI lens and actually introduce this stuff and give them the promise of what's going on. In particular, this last stat, 50% deficit in talent versus demand for what McKinsey calls an AI builder. We call that role a chief AI officer. Now, why would they want it? This is recent data from Microsoft. Look at this. Every dollar that they invest in AI, $3.5 return. It's huge. And one of my favorite sayings is arithmetic is not an opinion. And with results like this, I mean, it's obvious that the demand even makes more sense. I mean, if you're the person who can unlock this type of result for businesses, what do you think the demand for your services will look like? And to further compound the pain for businesses, look at the #1 challenge, lack of skilled workers. The solution? Well, what Peter Diamandis has a suggestion, and we tend to agree with his opinion. Peter, take it away.
As somebody who's deploying AI as rapidly as humanly possible, and I know that people have a lot of anxiety around this, how should people be using AI right now if they want to be on that path?
So one of the things I'm doing in the companies that I'm running or advising or investing in is I'm saying, first of all, every company needs to have what I call a chief AI officer. And it is not someone who's building a large language model for you or writing code for you. It's an individual who understands what's going on in the terrain. So understanding what's out there, what the modalities are, and what you can and should be using is critical. So your chief AI officer is scanning the horizon, understanding it, and then advising members of your team.
Okay, thank you for that, Peter. It was very fantastic. So Peter doesn't get paid by us. We don't, that's a term that Peter came up with, he says, but we are in disagreement here. But it looks like he nailed another prediction. I just want you guys to see some of these recent headlines. Like, this is a thing. This is a real thing. Companies are actively and desperately looking for this role to be filled in 2024 and beyond. Either full-time, fractionally, through an agency, consultancy, they don't care. Every day without someone in their business focused on this stuff is another day that they fall behind. And I'm not being hyperbolic. What's even worse is that another day without the gains that come from a process that this AI builder, this AI expert brings to the table. Let me get through all of these headlines. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's real. So the solution, every business needs a chief AI officer. You got 3 options: hire one, train one, or become one. So quickly, your option of hiring one. If you can find one, this is the solution that's the best fit for your situation. Reach out to us. We'll help you with matchmaking, right? But expect to pay a lot of money for this individual. Supply, demand, the impact they bring, no question. Train one. We can do that for you. However, you need to understand that if you get these people trained up and they're working for you in your business, they're going to get headhunted. People are looking for this talent. So I have a pretty squared away contract with them if you're going to send them through any type of AI related training. The other one is you become the chief AI officer. All this points to a huge opportunity for first movers in the space. If you are a business owner, you get better trained employees. Better trained employees equals an advantage in the marketplace. If you're an employee, this all but guarantees career advancement, premium opportunities, economic viability continues. If you're a solopreneur, look, man, high-speed, low-drag automations powered by AI means no need to scale a team. Coach consultant, you just distinguished yourself in the marketplace as a high-demand provider, and you can charge a premium above what you're currently charging, not because of supply and demand, but because of the value contribution that you bring to the table. So, yeah, we teach it, blah, blah, blah. Here's the free bonus time. These smart cuts are things that we've done. These are AI-powered processes, and these are essentially maps for exactly how to automate, augment, or AIify some business use case processes in your business. We give them away for free. Yeah, look, I'd love for you to join our program. Fantastic. It's expensive, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not here to sell. I'm here to actually learn from everybody else who is here. Thank you, everybody who is teaching, and to let the world know that regardless of where you go to learn this stuff, regardless of who you learn it from, whether it's thousands of hours of YouTube videos or it's going through our program, please understand the market wants you to become AI literate so that you can introduce your skills to their business. And here's the secret. Oops, the tools aren't hard. The hard thing is learning the business domain expertise. Whatever you've been doing for the last 10 years, 5 years, whatever your career is, that's the skill. You understanding that, you can go watch a video and learn how to use the tools. But knowing that part, you can say, oh, well, we need something that does this. What's that tool called? Hell, I don't know. Go to Google, go to Perplexity. They'll tell you. And as soon as you find that out, you currently possess the skill. AI, generative AI is not hard. Like, you don't need to be a brainiac or a tech whiz to do this stuff. What you need to do is understand that you already possess a skill, and that is you understand your business. You understand how things work in your business, what cycles look like, how much it costs to produce a product. AI is not going to teach you that stuff. I mean, sure, you can beat up the chat GPT for whatever. And have I gone 6 minutes, guys? I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling.
Yeah, we're at 6. Yeah, we're past 6 minutes.
Okay. Well, sorry.
That's
Thanks.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Love y'all. Take care.
Thanks, Chris.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Chris. That was a good way to be the last one. All right. I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you how to vote. All right. So just as a quick reminder, Norm and I have a new podcast, Marketing Misfits. Love to have you check that out on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts. There's 2 QR codes there that'll go to each one.